What's that in the world? Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of Cognac Confessionals. I'm your host, Deshaun. Here at Where Media Meets Studios in conjunction with VJ TV, Farrell Films, History in the Making Entertainment, Keep It Cloudy Productions. Shout out to Camouflage. Shout out to the Venus Lounge as always. Uh, it's Sagittarius season, chilling tonight. Got a great show lined up for y'all tonight. I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves, starting with my guy to my left, as always.
Hey, what's up, man? It's your boy Farrell, aka Farrell Films, just here once again. I can't give it to you no better than that, brother.
Yeah.
Oh man, Vic, better known as Vic the Cigar Guy. Catch me at KAQ on Instagram.
And Maurice Harold from the Hero Group, all things real estate, traditional real estate sales, loans to development. Salute.
Salute.
Yeah,
Thank you, brothers, for being here tonight, as always.
5 times a day.
Salute. Y'all both have been here several times before. No strangers to the set. Welcome again. So, and first show after at 50. So,
First show
let's
is
cheers that. Toast to the Most High allowing me to see half a century. It's been
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Salute.
a lot. We both, all four of us know a lot of people didn't even get to see half that shit.
Man.
What's been happening up with y'all, man? It's been an interesting week as always. The news and whatnot's been. I just wanted to freestyle tonight. So, what's on y'all brothers' minds? Let's talk about what y'all got going on.
Let's talk about us or talk about the world.
Either, whatever, y'all run it. I'm a humble servant of the community.
I'm just like I was. I took sleeping pills, but then I got woke up by the 49ers game.
Oh,
You can't even sleep through that shit. But an interesting thing happened. There was a young brother. You know, many of us growing up had aspirations to make it to
Oh, yeah, I know
professional
what you're talking about.
sports
Yeah,
and
I
all
definitely-
that type
oh,
of
yeah.
stuff, right?
Yes.
So this is
Let's
a
get in
true
on that.
lifetime for some people, and the amount of dedication that it takes
Yes.
to get to that level.
Mm-hmm.
And this brother just said,
I don't want
Hey,
to play.
"I'm good," and
I
walked
can't
off.
do it. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
But that tells me to see him in this, and everybody grandstanding and talk, just slaughtering him across social media. And I got to say, I got to take the opposite track.
Why?
There is nowhere in the world somebody in their right mind is walking out of the middle of an NFL game.
Well, we just saw it happen.
So I'm more concerned, like, what's going on with the brother? Like, no one seems to be like, man, because I've seen other people, oh, he's having some mental health. That people want to have some empathy.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be absolutely no empathy for this brother at all.
Okay.
So, coming from the football world,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have my own opinion on it because I don't have an opinion on it because I try to stop being opinionated or judgmental when things like that happen because we ourselves know that people go through stuff that people don't talk about.
True.
And you never know a man if he's going through something. Most men you won't even know depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Most men you don't know is stressing. But they said that this is his second time. Secondly, he's a 9-year veteran, right? So he knows better, right? So when you play in a sport, it's a team thing. It's a brotherhood, right? And you walked out on your brotherhood.
Yeah.
So for me, and some people say, why? How can a man do that after they done reached their dreams and got to a certain point?
Mm-hmm.
But I've spoke to a lot of NFL players and NBA professional players, period. Is that the love of the game left when it became a business?
Okay.
So it was just a routine for him. Get up, play ball, going about the business, and so the love was gone.
Your take on it, Reese?
Really don't have one outside of what you brothers already spoke on. You know what I mean? It could be a range of mental health or, the love of the game has passed him up, right? And I think this is the second brother in 2 weeks, right? Because wasn't another brother from another team that did the same thing? That they refuse to go back into the game.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Right. So, there's something there.
And it kind of reminds me of Vernon Davis's brother. I can't call his name right now, but Vernon Davis,
Used to be tight end for the.
yeah. Well, his brother was playing for the Bills, and he quit at halftime. And a lot of people mocked him, and then he committed suicide just not too long ago. He was very, like Rick said, there was something obviously going on, and I'm wondering if there's something going on with this brother, because he didn't flame out like, say, what's that AB cat did?
Antonio Brown did.
You know what I'm saying? But
taking his jersey
it's
off.
still like, wow. You just said, you know what, I'm done. And took the long walk to the tunnel.
Yeah.
And I'm just surprised, though, that normally when athletes crash out like that, there's usually some level of, well, maybe they're just going through something or this and that, right? You go on Twitter and there's none of that. Teammates sitting up there on the microphone, and I'm sitting there like, and the coach,
he didn't want to play.
Put it to you like this. When I see some of the players saying he let us down, this and that, I see the MAGA boys like Kittle talking that talk. I'm like, okay, but when I see that coach sit there and talk, and all I can every time I ever see dudes on the microphone, all I can think about is that
team's trash.
I know that they all super MAGA over there, and they love to talk about. And one of MAGA's things is diversity, this and that, DEI. Kyle Shanahan is truly a DEI coach. There's nothing other than his daddy and John Lynch being so fond of his daddy is the only reason why he's in that position. So it's like I see him talking. I see him talking
Not
that
true.
talk.
Whoa,
Trust
whoa.
me.
Not
Trust
true.
me.
Not true. That dude has went through the ranks from being a position coach to a coordinator.
He was a position coach at 21.
Okay.
There's still people talking about, I don't know if Deion is deserving of the opportunities he's got, and Kyle Shanahan ain't even 40 and has been a head coach for several years. That's nepotism at its finest. But as we saw last night with Brock Purdy,
that's the opinion.
When he doesn't have
that's
a low,
you got to stop out of the opinion because you don't know the truth behind it.
With
Shanahan, with the musical industry.
With Shanahan doesn't have one of the most loaded rosters, which he still managed to not win the big one. When he doesn't have the most loaded roster in football, it just looked awful. They said the man's an offensive guru, and what he left the two.
Name one team he to take to the playoffs. His resume speaks for itself. So you're speaking on opinion. His resume speaks for itself. So if you're going to speak on it, we got to speak truth. And I'm going to put you out there like that. Because like I told Deshaun, I'm going to always hold my homeboys accountable for what they say. Name one team he did not take to the playoffs. Name one team he was on he did not take to the Super Bowl.
It's about
No. You said they was completely trash. Name one team.
I once made the mistake of saying Phil Jackson was a hell of a coach
He's
to
a
an NBA
diverter.
player.
He's a diverter.
To a 9-year NBA vet, right? And they looked at me and said, and this said during this time, Vancouver, the Grizzlies were still in Vancouver, and they said to me, let's see that Zen bullshit he doing work in Vancouver. Meaning, Shanahan has ended up in positions where, put it to you like this, if you'd have gave Mike Tomlinson the same teams that Shanahan has had, they might be in the midst of a 60-game winning streak. It might be some shit where they take the man from the football sideline and put him in the White House or something. That's how impressive it would be.
No, I have to differ. Before Kyle Shanahan was there, the Niners was not winning. On paper, every year the Raiders should be winning their division.
But we garbage.
For they win their division, and every coach when he left New England went to the Raiders and didn't do shit. They had a winning career, so you can't say that. You have to be a coach. Kyle Shanahan has taken every team he's been on to the playoffs or the Super Bowl, and you cannot say that for the Raiders. You cannot say that for Cleveland. You cannot say that for any coach that
Kyle
been in those
Shanahan
teams.
is so good. Would he if he came to the Raiders? Would they be a playoff team?
No, nobody.
See, y'all be
will.
giving these mediocre
Hold on.
people like Shanahan and Gruden. Y'all be giving them so much
First
grace.
off, you got to understand this. I'm not giving it grace, but you got to understand the Raiders. Period. Nobody goes to the Raiders and be successful because of what Al Davis and what Mark Davis want to do. They wanted too much control of the team. They're calling plays from the box. So the Raiders will never be successful.
Jerry Jones called plays from the box.
They fired the black coach because he didn't want to listen to Al Davis. If you don't follow in suit, Arshell, you don't follow in suit with the Raiders, they get rid of you. And best believe they finna blame this on AP.
We just in the funk, man. We cursed. But back to the cranberry.
Arshell definitely went along with the play when it was time to bench Marcus Allen.
Of course.
That's why he's been disgraced and banished.
So, initially we was talking about
Marcus Allen was fucking Al Davis' daughter.
Oh yeah, old boy quit.
Somebody had to do it.
So if you go fuck the owner's daughter, the owner gonna say, "Hey, do not play that man."
Yeah,
I don't care what team it is.
We are cursed. So think about the Raiders. We know who we are. We are who we thought we were. You know, even though we want to be greater than we are, Raiders, we will always root for us, but we understand what we are.
Y'all like abusive relationships.
Exactly. And you guys are the Niners. The Niners are that team that you guys are overachievers, and now you guys are who you are because your coach.
They overachievers.
They went to the Super Bowl last year.
They were favorites, and then
they stacked the roster.
Andy Reid got a
They
whole
almost
team.
did.
They have a stacked roster.
Hold on.
These are all
Listen
people
to
they
me.
drafted.
Stacked
The only
the
person.
roster.
I wasn't there when they drafted McCaffrey.
I
What
said-
round
I
did they
said-
draft
hold on,
McCaffrey?
No, y'all built some shit.
Hold on,
I'm
before-
not knocking it. Just
before-
listen to the
before McCaffrey
listen to the
came,
explanation.
They was at 3 NFC championship games in a row, 3 years in a row, and a Super Bowl before McCaffrey got there.
And no titles.
Well, wait, before he got there,
But y'all was the NFC champions, so I'm gonna give y'all that.
Okay, but name another team that got
Second
9
place is
starters
first
hurt
loser.
from the beginning of the season.
I know
to now.
I know that. I knew we was gonna
Injuries
go.
is a
No,
part
no,
of the game.
I'm stuck.
no.
Injuries are a part of the game.
They stuck on me.
Injuries are part of the game.
I bet Pharaoh
No,
didn't have a
look.
team.
But no, listen.
Pharaoh didn't have a team, so I
But
can't-
remember, so
I kind of like the Ravens.
originally though,
So what's the excuse?
with old boy
They'll be
quit.
there when it's
That
over.
quarterback y'all that look like a
I
porn
want
star?
to touch on that, and we can go back into the Niner Raider hate.
Okay.
But all of us have played sports,
Right.
and here's the thing, I'm gonna say it. I didn't think about the aspect that y'all talked about with the mental health shit with old boy possibly quitting because of something. I didn't take that into
Because
consideration.
brothers don't get that type of grace.
And the funny thing is, because I watched that Jamie Foxx shit last night. I'm Jamie Foxx. I don't get strokes.
What's up with that
But anyway.
outfit he was wearing?
We'll get into that too. I got some. Yeah, we can go into that too. But hold on. But when I first saw the shit, with old boy quitting, I was like, that's some whole ass shit. You don't quit on your team. That's how you get excommunicated. Matter of fact, me, I'm a baseball guy. $100 grand. Mo Vaughn was it Mo Vaughn? I think it was Mo Vaughn. There was a game where it was a brawl.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't come out the dugout to join the brawl.
Yeah.
I attribute this move by dude to that same move, and they cut him right the next day. So I was like, Niners will be cutting dude tomorrow, which is today.
Well, he's suspended right
Releasing,
now.
yeah,
And they
he'll be
decided
getting
how to
released.
cut him. He was on a 1-year contract.
I believe he'll be getting released. Now, like I said, I didn't take that part into context when I thought about this because and once again I will be devil's advocate. When I was listening to the commentators on the sports talk, they run their narrative. So I was like, damn, wait a minute. It was like, because the one brother who was a Greenlaw who tore his Achilles at the Super Bowl, how the fuck you get injured and you don't do shit? You just anyway. That's another story. Remember? Yeah, you remember that
They
shit.
might have had
When
a
he was
Super Bowl
he was
and
trying to
still
run on the
was
field and
showing
fell,
out.
and nobody touched him. I'm like, non-contact injury. But anyway, because they was
before or
giving.
after Kittle's,
Listen though.
fumble
They was letting.
celebration?
He was coming back, so they was giving him some burn. You know, like man, you back, veteran, well deserving to get back on and come play. And dude was, and this might be wrong, but the story was that's why dude walked off because they was finna give bruh Greenlaw some run. Like bruh, you deserve. Which I mean, I get it. You shouldn't lose your spot to an injury. You healthy, you come back and get your shit. You know, unless the motherfucker who's there is doing
Let's
50
correct
million.
that part. Greenlaw has started. He got hurt again. They told him to go fill in for him. He said, "I don't feel like playing today," and he left. So he was already going to get burned.
Poor guy.
Okay.
So that I think another aspect we got to look at is because they're finding so many different levels to it. We have to look at this CTE and take it seriously.
Like I said,
because-
I'm with you.
I-
Look at that now.
yeah.
'Cause I didn't think about it before. I was just like, this nigga acting like a little broad.
I mean, if you playing it and you, all of us has played ball before.
Yeah.
It's a brotherhood, and I tell people all the time that if I can't go to the club and know you're gonna have my back, if I get in a fight, I don't want to be on the field with you.
Right.
Right. So we at
That's
the time
exactly.
all the other linebackers was hurt. They ended up having to put I think a strong safety there because he was the linebackers I was supposed to fill in.
Mm-hmm.
He left him hanging for whatever reason. Right. But we done seen it before. Basketball players who found out their teammate was sleeping with their wife.
Oh,
And they walked
and
off
the baby
court,
ended up being another player.
or the dude that he looked up in the stands and seen his girl talking to another dude and he couldn't finish the game.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't.
True that. You're all right. So I just like I said, but until you said that, the mental health shit, that shit didn't even come into play with me. And I jumped on the man, this nigga on some hoe shit. And then I like you said it, and I had to instantly think like, well, damn, I really just went straight to the hoe shit mode on the shit, and it could be that. Hopefully, it isn't. But you kind of be like, because you want to say give him some grace, and maybe it is that, but you still hope that if it is that, hey, we hope you find some help, healing or something. Yeah. But overall, your careers are done.
But look at that. Nobody said nothing when the dude from the Rams, the first time the Niners played him, right before the game, he retired. The center. They started center, retired right before the game.
Damn.
So
well, usually when he was a Pilgrim, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So usually, even our last Super Bowl, our fucking center went fucking missing.
He retired before the game too.
Yeah, this motherfucker went.
He was up the beat pills. He was up the beat pills.
Shout out to Network.
Yeah. Fuck shit
But
happens.
I think this is the first time I ever heard a football player say, "I don't want to play. I'm not going in."
Yeah.
And that's the part that was more shocking to me. Him walking off, that could have been, but just to say, I don't want to play no more.
That's the narrative.
I don't want to play today.
That's the narrative they needed to put out there. Mm-hmm. And I'm a Niner hater for life, but just breaking it down, just as not as just a fan of the sport, looking at it and knowing how the behind, we all know how the behind the scenes shit of what the narratives they try to spin and go with. And I'm like, like I said, you sat there and said what you said, and I was like, me and my brain go a million miles a minute, and I'm like, well, damn, all type of scenarios. I'm like, damn, well, maybe that is it, because y'all not going to the playoffs, but
well,
no, you're not. But you're not. It's okay.
Well, did you?
We got to count. We got to space on the couch.
Hold on. Did you know the NFL moved the playoff from 12 to 14 teams now? And as of right now, we're number 12 in the NFC.
No, y'all got a 1% chance.
We're number 12.
Did you hear what I just said?
I heard you.
So they number 12. So basically, we have to win out, but it is there. Y'all not even on the list.
We don't care.
Out of 16 teams, y'all not on the list.
We playing for Deion's son.
On the
8 weeks ago,
had this
our
conversation.
mission was clear.
Hold on, we had this conversation at the barbershop today.
Oh, okay.
At the barbershop today. That would be the worst move on the Raiders and Shador. That would be the worst decision
They get
in NFL
Shador.
history.
I'm getting season tickets.
I'm gonna tell you why. You're gonna get now he's gonna be a high caliber, high price tag quarterback.
That come with a lot of pressure.
With no receivers, no running back, no offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, he'll be Brock Purdy.
No. Niners got the number one offensive tackle in the NFL.
Brock Purdy, they say, with going into the second half with a lead, Purdy has thrown 5 touchdowns and like 14 interceptions. The man is so clutch.
And Lamar Jackson got more interceptions than touchdowns. And we're not talking about that.
Yeah, let's stay focused, brother.
Because he black, right?
That's
that's focus.
MVP runner.
Focus.
Let's stay focused.
Okay,
brother.
let's do this.
runner.
Let's do this.
Exactly.
But okay, let's talk about the Raiders. You talk about everything. Let's talk about the Raiders quarterback, the one that looked like the porn star. with
Both
porn
of them
mustache.
got porn stars. I hate our quarterbacks. They trash.
If Shador Sanders,
They got me ready. Hey, if I get my shoulder rehab, man, I'll make some run at 50.
It wouldn't. I'm telling. Listen to me.
Put me on the training camp.
Y'all don't have no money because he blew all that money at buying that WNBA team.
He was buying hookers.
And you're gonna put Shador Sanders in a situation where it's a lose situation. And he's gonna be a top paid quarterback because you got to pay the top 5 people top money.
You know why they
that
do
brother
that?
ain't nothing but a winner. He gonna be all right.
I hear you on that, but to your point, you know why they do that?
Do what?
To buck break. They'll put him in that position to, hey, little nigga, here you go, and don't give him the support. I understand what you're saying completely, and that'll be the narrative. And then when it doesn't happen, it'll act like it's a chink on Dion's role, and it's like on his roster, of his greatness.
They're not going to do it for the Raiders. Why? Because that's going to give too much money to the Davises.
Exactly.
So he's not going to go to Raiders.
Exactly.
We can put that out there right now. He's
but
not
we
going
playing
to
for a draft pick, which I'm telling you, we've conceded this shit weeks ago, 2 months ago.
And knowing the Raiders, they're gonna
bullshit.
They're gonna pick a wide receiver that can't catch.
They gonna fuck around and pick a fucking.
But he probably gonna run like
fuck
a
around and
4-1.
draft a fucking.
He gonna run like a
equipment
4-1
manager.
in the 40 or something.
Gonna spend the first round pick on an equipment manager, and this motherfucker gonna have a hell of
Al
a
Davis used to go in the draft. Who's got the fastest 40 times? Yeah, but the guy can't play football. Draft him. Get him.
Who could throw the ball
So
the
I have a question
farthest?
for you. What's your thought on the Jay-Z situation?
There we go. Another situation.
Slander.
Yeah.
Slander. And no, he wasn't about to buy NBC, but if you actually read the allegations, because you can read them, anybody who takes that, I use that as like kind of like a litmus test of like if people say they like Medea movies or things like that, or if they believe these allegations, I kind of put you in that same category because it's just far fetched.
I'm gonna be devil's advocate. I'm gonna say this. Sometimes where there's smoke, there's fires. But don't get me wrong. Sometimes
we can't do
No,
that on,
yes,
on accusations of that nature.
I'm not on the left or the right of this shit because neither one of them motherfuckers.
Have you actually read? Have you read?
No, I haven't. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But
if
just
you actually
in general,
read that, you wouldn't say a sentence like
no,
that.
listen to them. In general, even though I just looked up something before we went on that the original accuser, now that Jay-Z did his full court press defense on speed this trial up, the person is saying, oh, there is some inconsistency. So I'm like, oh, maybe it is some bullshit. And that's the thing. I take all this shit. There's always 4 sides to a story. Their side is the truth, and then there's the spin model. With the narrative that wants to get spin. There's always 4 sides.
I don't know. On some things,
listen to me.
you can't do the contrarian thing or devil's advocate because this is a brother who's
I
being accused of raping a 13-year-old.
Oh, I get you with that. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. I wasn't
Sometimes
there.
you gotta take stance.
So she said she was there drinking.
I'm not. I wasn't
at the
there.
bar.
I wasn't there. Would Dayline say your favorite 5 rappers?
Have you read?
I haven't read it.
Okay.
So,
if you read that, you would be cavalier about it.
No,
You'll be like,
you
you'll
have
be
to.
pissed off that they doing this, brother.
If
like
they
that.
do, I'm with you. If they doing this some bullshit, I'm like, yeah, that's some bullshit. But at the same time, I wasn't there. I don't know what these motherfuckers be doing, and none of these motherfuckers pay me. So I'm not a dick rider of none of these motherfuckers.
It's not a dick rider to stand
I'm just
up
saying,
for the
period.
truth. That's like back in the 60s, there was probably people saying Martin Luther King was this communist
And he had
agitator
hoes.
and this and that, and he had hoes, and there was probably people like, I don't know what the brother. No, sometimes you got to take stands.
Call it what it is.
Sometimes you got to take stands.
So
I wasn't there, so I
look at
can't
it.
say what it is.
First off, there's always going to be more money, more problems. He's a billionaire that made 4 other billionaires, point blank. So he's going to have that issue. But I look at it at this point. If you know what's going on and you there, even if you didn't rape her, you're just as guilty for allowing it to happen.
Can't be
Can I
complicit
add
in
something
shit
to that, though?
nowadays.
No.
There's photographic evidence. First, they said to the brother. First, they accused the chick. They filed the complaint against Puffy. Then they came to Jay-Z and said, "Hey, we're going to say that you was there unless you give us some bread."
You talking about the demand letter?
Yeah, and he told them basically,
See,
fuck they said.
I'm not
But
in
you
the
got
flow
pictures of him of that night because it was after the VMAs.
Mm-hmm.
Puffy was hosting a party in New Jersey. Jay-Z is photographed. He's at a party with Eminem in Manhattan at the very same time. Jay-Z is not even, they're in two different states. And even if somebody says they're close, the person said in the allegations that first she came to the event at 9 o'clock and a limo driver said, "Hey, I got to run Puff over here to New Jersey. I'll come back and get you." They came and got her. The actual event, the event, she said this happened at 9 o'clock. The actual event ended at 11:30. They then went back, once he got clarified on that inconsistency, they went back and refiled it and said, no, this happened at 11:30. But this is supposedly what happened according to the victim.
Oh, see, yeah, like I said,
According to the victim.
I haven't studied
She
all that,
came
so
there,
I can't
the
give
limo driver
a
drove,
definitive response.
and if you've ever been in Manhattan traffic on a party night or Saturday night, for him to have took Puffy at 11 o'clock
He didn't go on them
to
underground
New
tunnels?
Jersey, then drove back, picked her up, then drove her to the event, and then somebody drugged her. They took her in the room, and J-Lo was watching while Jay-Z and this and that. While
It don't-
Jay-Z
it
was
don't
in
match up.
Manhattan, it's just
It don't
to
match up.
say some inconsistencies is wild.
Gotcha.
In fact, but see, here's the thing: this particular lawyer donated $500,000 to Trump. He's been a part of Trump's campaign in Texas. And he really did a lot. He really got his money up on that Deshaun Watson shit. So basically, this dude is untouchable in Texas.
He hunting stars.
If he was to do this in another state, filing these level of frivolous claims, he'd fuck around to get this bar.
Isn't this the same gentleman that has the 1-800 number for the Puffy case?
Yes.
They have a 1-800 number.
Yeah.
Okay, see, like I said, I'm not privy to all that. I try not to be so involved in motherfuckers who don't put money in my pockets' lives because I don't give a fuck.
So again, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whether it's Jay-Z, whether whoever it is, if there's rape being involved, if you there and you do nothing about it, you just as
complicit.
guilty.
No,
in
no,
my
you're not
eyes.
100%.
This is
You're
what I'm
complicit.
saying. I don't, the same thing with R. Kelly. The bodyguard should go to jail too because he was going to
Everybody.
go get the girls.
Everybody.
So I'm just saying, it's whether Jay-Z was there. If Jay-Z was there at the party, and he knowingly know this was going on, he said, "I'm gonna turn my head to it." He just as good. He got girls.
complicit.
He has daughters.
Yeah,
I got a daughter.
And
I
as your
turn
point
the
is valid,
world over.
for me, my take is, I'm not into everybody's
Yeah.
business, but my biggest thing is that, historically, every time we have one of us that's at the top, by design, somebody's there to take us down. So that's why I'm dialed in, right? Because we've seen that over the last several years. You start for Bill Cosby, who's going, Mr. Pudding Pop, right? When we're talking about somebody said, "Oh, you drugged me back in 1982." You know what I mean?
77.
This is in 2000. You know
How do
what I
we
mean?
even decide? Especially if you say, I drugged you, and I say, no, I didn't. So now what?
But it's the public. It's the public that's charging.
They
you with
really
this.
put Bill in prison.
You know?
Bill Cosby. You couldn't have told me in the 80s, Bill gonna be in the penitentiary one day. I'd have been like, nigga, I don't even want to stand next to you because I might get some of that you've been smoking might get into my jeans. But
Yeah, I just with Bill, it was more for me, like, where is the self accountability at? Because a few of the women said, I know and heard of him drugging women, but I still wanted to go there.
Mm-hmm.
You knew, like you put yourself in that
You
situation.
knew what you wanted.
Well, I mean,
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay.
Never.
No,
But-
I'm not saying it, but the narrative though. But isn't the narrative always
Oh, yeah.
consistent? I got drugged,
Mm-hmm.
right? They took advantage. They raped me, right? And my whole thing is we know this, right? If you that guy, if you got the table, you got bottle service, you're right.
You don't
We
need
want to
to
come
do all
vibe with you, right?
Yes.
And it seems a lot of this stuff only comes up when rejection takes place, right? Then there's a problem. Now you have to defend yourself. But now where we are with social media and whatnot, you're guilty, right? And you got to prove your innocence. But by that time, your reputation's been tarnished the whole nine, and the potential jurors in these type of cases have already been what?
Poisoned
Yeah.
by the slanderous allegations, and
Yeah.
it's a double-edged sword because you damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because you'll get people in popular positions that'll get these bullshit accusations, and their team will be like, "We just gonna pay to shut you up because we don't feel like dealing with it." And the person could be 100% innocent.
People treat that as an
Guilty.
admission of guilt.
And that's the thing about it. That's when you got to stand on business. Because if you look right now,
Totally
y'all can
agree.
come to me right now, nigga. We want 50% of your shit. Because this, and that. And I can be like, I ain't did shit. But if I give y'all something, if I hunker down to any of y'all demands, right? What's gonna stop y'all from saying later on, hey, he gave us that point. We still can get some more because he gave it to us before, and that's what happens.
But sometimes you gotta understand too is, just playing devil advocate on
Yeah.
that part. It's cheaper to pay a month to pay a lawyer. That fight
I know.
to prove you're innocent may be
It's a
more
hell of a
expensive
fight.
than what you giving that person. To settle.
Especially when it comes to public opinion, because they will drop. Excuse me. They will leak shit and all that. Because look at okay, so we are the Jay-Z shit linked to the Diddy shit. The public opinion has already been tainted. Oh, they found 1 million bottles of baby oil. Everybody look at it. You see baby oil, first thing come to your mind is Diddy now. Now you product branding. But that's smart. Whoever on that team is, I ain't gonna lie, that's some smart shit. The leaking shit, because everybody is so fascinated with this culture shit and what's going on, and the tearing down of any celebrity, because people put celebrities on pedestals and you shouldn't. But when they falling, everybody wants to watch. Because why do you go to see Evel Knievel jump across the Grand Canyon on a fucking 10-speed with a little ass parachute on? Not because you want to see him get to the other side. No, you want to be there when you see him fall and say, I was there and saw it. Human nature. Same reason you go to the circus as kids and you watch a motherfucker do the lion taming or the bears. Yeah, you see that, but you just be like, I want to be there when the shit go bad.
That's your evil ass.
Unfortunately,
That's human nature.
Unfortunately, one of the things that's unfortunate, social media drives the conversation on a lot of things.
Yes.
But for black people, we don't have, for melanated people,
Thank you.
unfortunately, we don't have the equivalent of a Theo Von or Joe Rogan. Somebody who is so pro-bro. You see what I'm saying? See, right now, there's some Andrew Tate, there's this and that. A white celebrity could actually have been filmed doing these things, and the Rogans, the Andrew Tates, and all them will get on the microphone and say, obviously, she wanted it, and the white male manosphere will be like, yeah. We don't have the equivalent of that for brothers.
We do.
The blogs and stuff that we have that are urban centric, so to speak, will convict you, literally convict you faster than the court of law. They will even do it like this: if you defend yourself, hit dog hollers. He came too fast. If you don't defend yourself, he must be guilty. He didn't say nothing. We got to have some type of advocate for us. Like you got the Charleston Whites out there, but they mix so much coonery and degenerate stuff in there that we need the equivalent. We need some melanated Joe Rogans. We need somebody who, with a true platform, who can stand up and say, "Hey, I'm speaking for the brothers, and I'm speaking life for the brothers."
So,
Go ahead.
So to that point, again, historically, every time we had a voice, what happened to that voice?
Yes, that's true.
Right.
Exactly.
Historically,
Yes.
Every time we had that voice,
Mark
They've
Anthony,
been
stop
snuffed.
it.
They've been snuffed.
No,
Because
no
what
facts.
happens is, to back up your point, is we too worried about Remy Ma and Papoose bullshit.
That's what I'm saying.
Another shit.
That's what our
We
urban people is
sensationalize-
talking about.
We sensationalize bullshit, and we fall for the banana in the tailpipe all the time because that's what it is. Tricky.
Shout out to Papoose though,
Tricky.
because he did say some player shit. He said, "I didn't knock dude out for sleeping with my wife. I knocked him out for shaking my hand." And I said,
that's keeping
okay,
it a buck. That's
all right.
hey,
So, but we also,
yeah, go for
at
it.
some point, again, and me and Deshaun had this talk a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, again, as black people, we got to start holding ourselves accountable for the bullshit we put ourselves in.
Thank you.
And again,
Thank you.
again, happy 50th birthday.
Appreciate it.
Right.
Let me fill my shit up.
On the 50th birthday,
Yeah.
what I'm learning is the older I get is, at one time as a youngster,
Mm-hmm.
I seen
Thank
trouble.
you.
I
Yes.
seen trouble, and I'd be like, you know what? I'm with my partners. I'm gonna stay here anyway,
Mm-hmm.
right? As you get older, the spider senses kick in. You be like, you know what? It don't feel right here,
Facts, Anthony.
you.
right? So at that point, you gotta say, when all these stuff's going on, you gotta pick your straws. Like if I know that Diddy throws a great party, but the after party is a fool, I'm not going to the after party. If you do what's right, you don't have to worry about society bashing you. You don't have to worry about these people ripping your head off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, to Maurice's point, when you all start doing too much, they're gonna start making things up.
Yes.
But they have to prove that you're there,
Thank you.
right? Everybody that most of these people they brought stuff home, they done found some
Bullshit.
stuff, or they've been holding on to it. They've been holding on to it for years.
Yes.
And then as soon as you get to a certain point, they're like, okay, Bill Cosby, I've been holding on to these
And
testimonies for 40 years. 40 years. Now you want this, I'm going to pull all this out. But again, some of these situations, you got to know, I can't hang with them. I got partners like that. Look,
All right. Love you to death.
he don't have a
love
conscience.
you. Love your show.
You don't have a conscience, but I can't kick it with him on a serious basis. You know what I mean? Because of those things.
Hey, for real. And what I've always said.
Guilty by association.
Yeah, and you got even like the Diddler and all of them. What happens is these entities, because what happens as melanated people, we have a power that transcends upon everything, beyond everything from the beginning, and we dim our light so much trying for acceptance and bowing down to some bullshit that's you got to see beyond that. But anyway, when you and I'll use the Diddler as prime example in this.
You know, YouTube.
So,
That's why I can't find it.
oh yeah, go to on there. So, using the Diddler as an example in this, so throughout history, he's moved up and elevated, and he's always had handlers because niggas don't transcend to different levels without somebody on that side that allows them to go through the Panama Canal. You follow me? Follow me with this Panama Canal connection shit right now. I'm gonna go deep. This some 3 a.m. shit. You can't get from this side to this side unless you go through the Panama Canal. There's a way to get to the other side without going through the Panama Canal. The problem is niggas only think they can go through the Panama Canal to get to the other side. You follow Magellan, you'll know that there's more than one way to get around. But anyway, back to the shit. It's 3 a.m. So your handlers know all your secrets. They turn you on.
At what point
And
in his
introduce
career
you.
did the handlers come in?
It happens some point. It happens.
At what point? Did the
I
handlers
wasn't
come
there.
in?
Once again, I'm not there. I don't follow these niggas. I don't give a fuck about these niggas personally. I'm just speaking on the shit that we see.
I was around during that time.
I
Let me
was
tell
too,
you
but
something. You were
hey,
still
let me
in high
finish.
school.
And I was in high
Diddy
school. Listen,
outgrinded every young dude.
And what do
around
they?
in the industry.
Okay, just like a motherfucker
Outgrinding
playing sports
everybody.
and hella raw. You don't think it's a motherfucker who's hella raw hustling saying, "Hey, that nigga down there making moves. This nigga might have some motion. We need to go holler at this nigga and put some shit." And hey, you don't think that happens? Come on, nigga. Y'all know you smarter than that.
See,
But anyway,
when
let me get back to my point.
Elon Musk and them win, it's because
before-
they're a genius. When the black man wins, it was some Illuminati handler,
I didn't
the
say
devil,
nothing about Illuminati.
something.
No.
What I would say is, I'm a dis.
Some boogeyman.
No.
Watching the show and listening to this brother
Yeah.
all the time.
Mhm.
At some point, again, we got to get to self accountability and
Thank you.
stop pulling the race card.
Yeah.
The reason,
Listen.
because if you every nigga, big name nigga, male, melanated male has went down by a black man.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a black person that done messed up a black person.
Yeah.
The white man ain't going out there saying he did this. A white man didn't shoot Malcolm X.
White man definitely
helps.
coordinated.
No, but it still took us to do it. It's still, no matter what, we did it. So let's take accountability for what we did.
Once again,
So no matter what,
Thank you.
these social media people,
Mm-hmm.
these social media people, it's mainly our people that's bashing the black people. It ain't the white people doing it. So
We hold ourselves
we
accountable
got our
harder
hand
than we
in
hold.
putting the downfall on
The
our own
white
people.
man puts the gatekeeper in place, and then
Hold on, man.
the
These-
gatekeeper
These
then
social
does
media
his
people
thing.
got 1,000 followers. Ain't no fucking way they got a gatekeeper. Let's be real about
He
it.
said Diddy had a handler.
No, but
you're-
Diddy got more
listen.
than 1,000 followers. Come on, man, you're not listening.
At what point?
Okay, let's
The
call it.
social media cats is putting this out there.
So let me
Does
finish.
not have that much influence.
Let me finish my shit. And this is
Go
something y'all
ahead,
got to
bro.
give credence to.
Mm-hmm.
And listen to it. Listen to what I'm saying. Now, I'm giving you some levels to this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I'm a melanated person that's hustling, grinding, like you said, I respect they grind because
Mm-hmm.
he was on Howard doing parties as a youngster, teenager, and
Shout
high
out to
school
Fred Hampton.
doing hella shit. It's somebody that says, those little Negroes are making moves. I might want to invest.
There's always somebody.
And I know you smarter than to think that don't happen. So
I didn't say it didn't.
I know,
happen.
but I'm saying, but your statement acting like it couldn't happen. That's all I'm
Now
saying.
you twisted my.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to understand context of what you're saying, bro. So all I'm saying is, what happens is, no matter our own trajectory, because like I said, we transcend beyond. We don't understand that completely as a whole. But we transcend beyond. We're going to get there. But we put ourselves in position to have gatekeepers and people come in and tell us, oh, man, we can do this and that. So as a young guy, that's moving and shaking, and I'm moving numbers. I'm making shit happen. So now somebody comes and introduces me into a world that I didn't know before.
But that's business.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now I got introduced to a whole new lifestyle of whether it's clothes, jewelry, food, anything. What I knew before, because remember, we niggas wasn't on all this extra expensive clothing line shit because we was cool with what we had. Because clothes don't make the man. Man makes the clothes. That's always been the shit. You'll get that at 3 a.m. That's another discussion. But anyway, so once you get these handlers, and I'm using the term broadly when I say handlers, whether it's an investor, anything, somebody that's introducing you to shit and taking you here and introducing you to, you go into a room, they introduce you to different circles.
So you're talking about managers and reps?
I'm just saying,
Everyone
period.
says
Just
that.
anything. Yeah, exactly.
Same thing.
Everything. It don't have to
So
just.
why you making it sound all spooky and mysterious?
I didn't
and
say it was
Illuminati?
spooky and mysterious. I'm just calling it what it is. But you have these ones who do that. And I'm not saying everyone does that, but it does happen. And we can't act like it don't. Because the same way I'm introducing you to shit and you like, oh man, I was only used to Denny's and now we going to Philippe's.
It's like you talking about the rap industry.
Exactly.
Same
Everything. Industry, period. And now you doing shit, so now your fan base is doubling and tripling, and the shit you do as, wait a minute, oh, so now all I got to do is do this, and your vices, because everybody got vices. Some good, some bad. Some neutral. But the people that's introducing you into this world, they keeping score. Bill Cosby left the back door open. That's why this shit happened. That's all I'm saying. And we can't act like that don't happen.
Yeah. So I have a question. So
Yes.
as there's been conversations about the Diddy parties, what makes the Diddy parties anything different than the Hugh Hefner parties?
Exactly.
What's the difference?
There is no
I'm
difference.
gonna tell you where the difference come in at.
Please educate.
Okay, I'm gonna say the two differences. One, you knew what was going on, but they didn't speak highly on the drugs that was at the Hugh Hefner parties.
Why do you think that is?
Because I'm so you asked me what's the difference. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's the biggest to me. The biggest difference is we have a certain part of the world that's homosexual acceptance, feared, and then you have the ones that don't want to hear it. Right? If Diddy was doing these parties and he was only freaking women, it wouldn't be so big. Now these supposed to be rappers and entertainers and these men, these that you people looked up to, is they finding out they slept with Diddy? That's what I think the biggest problem is. Diddy didn't do nothing but throw a lifestyle party, a swinger party. He was throwing swinger parties, and it became bisexual at some point.
He was doing what he was around.
So what I'm saying is that you didn't hear about Hugh Hef sleeping with men. You heard him sleeping with a bunch of women.
But what's the difference? So you know, and again, you know, I say this with respect because everybody, you know, their lifestyle is their lifestyle.
Yeah, I don't hate. Do what you do.
Right.
Just don't hurt women.
But
don't
even
hurt children.
but even with the Hugh Hefner or any party, because all celebrities have parties, right? So when they speak of allegedly, because again it's still allegedly,
Right.
you know, men having sex with men. What's the difference with women being with women? It's the same shit.
And we root for that shit.
Right.
You know, subconsciously.
It's the same thing.
Exactly.
It's the same
You're
thing,
absolutely
right?
right.
So I think it goes back to us, to your point, right? You know, brothers and sisters tearing down one another,
Yes.
right? But in trying to get $1, because at the end of the day, it comes down to money. Because if Puff allegedly didn't have any money, this wouldn't happen,
We wouldn't
right?
hear it.
Everybody trying to get a check. But going back to Hugh Hefner, we talking about Playboy Mansion. We talking
American
about prostitutes.
culture.
We talking about the whole nine. Because again,
This is American
everybody knew what
culture.
it was, right? You never seen him go
When
to
a
trial.
nigga do it, it's something.
It's a
wrong.
problem, right?
And
But I
exactly,
think that's just America. So
Exactly.
just call it what it is.
exactly
You
to
gotta-
my point.
You basically gotta live like
I'm just saying that
Ice Cube.
It's like
'cause
everybody, and this is the culture we grew up in. That we grew up in a culture where it's okay for a man to be a player and a woman not, right? But you also seen, I say it like this: people are more hurt when they find out somebody they entertain or they love or whatever is in the closet versus them coming out and saying that this is what they did.
Hell yeah.
No, I feel
That's just, I mean, it's one of those things like, oh my God, he was at Diddy party. I looked up to him. And they
Exactly.
might be doing the same thing, but they didn't want they superstars doing that.
And that's the problem when I say, because we put people on pedestals that, and don't get me wrong, everybody breathes, everybody takes a shit, everybody wipes their ass. Either, and if you're rich enough, maybe somebody wipes it for you. I don't know, but maybe. But we're human. Everybody is in the same box. We have different lifestyles, different cash values, and all that. True, yeah. But we forget that, nigga. You do the same shit I do. You breathe, nigga. If I hold your nose for 4 minutes, nigga, you dead. All of us is that, nigga. You can put a millionaire, a billionaire, a thousandaire, and a homeless motherfucker on the island with nothing but a can opener, 2 bottles of water, and some aluminum foil. Who gonna outlive who? The homeless motherfucker.
See, I disagree to it because
With nothing else.
not in regards to that, but
Okay.
not in regards to that, but on your previous point, some people will. You're supposed to treat everyone with a certain level of respect, right?
Yes.
But I always see people, especially on social media, saying things like, "Oh, I treat the janitor and the CEO with the same respect," and I guarantee you, 90% of the people that say shit like that have no measurable success in life because they just don't get it. Because here's the thing: I'm gonna treat the CEO and the janitor. I'm not gonna be rude to either one of them. But sometimes we can't see, and that's the problem. Like, I was raised in one of the type of families where we're all the same, we're all equal, and then I got out in the world, and there were some people who are truly exceptional. There are some people who achieve. We're not all the same. Maybe in the biblical sense, we're all brothers, but in the real world, if you really gonna get out here and compete in this world, you have to realize there are some people who are exceptional. There are some people who are going to fall short no matter what. There's some people you give them $1 million and a month from now they'll be broke. And there's some people, if you just give them the opportunity, don't even actually give them the actual tools, just give them access to the opportunity, or let them know if you pick up that book right there, you'll learn how to do this, and you come back and that person will be successful.
So
There are people out here who are exceptional. There are people out here who are talented and gifted. They raise us to be mediocre. In my family, at least, we were literally drilled. Go down there and get you a good job as a garbage man or something like literally we were raised to have no more than a blue collar aspiration, and to want more or to think about more. This and that is what you trying to be, white, or you think you better than everybody else. And I'm not unique in that aspect. A lot of us are raised that. But when I got into the world and I got away from my family, because my family across the board was you're a baseball guy. What do they call it? The Mendoza?
The Mendoza line?
The Mendoza line.
250.
I was raised in a 400 in a clubhouse full of Mendozas. You're gonna get resented. And I'm not saying that, and I don't say that to shit on unsuccessful people, but we it's many of us, we don't even realize that we shit on stuff like everybody getting a participation trophy. But many of us are raised in participation trophy environments, and if you say, "No, I want more," oh, you think you better than everybody.
So that right there is, what we've heard many times over is not crab in a barrel mentality, right? Because we should be in a space now where we should be mimicking what our ancestors did, right? When we were coming through the struggle with trying to make sure everybody win, right? Whereas, like, if I get into a position of knowledge itself and knowing how I can go ahead and elevate, then I should be able to grab and bring my brother, my sister up and say, like, hey, here's a book. I ain't gonna charge you for it, right? To win. And if we see that next one that's talking left, talking bad, talking down to brother, sister, just go ahead and correct them on that, and just show them, like, this is how we supposed to move, right? And just as you were saying, like how one has the book and the knowledge and don't share. For me, it's like it's two brothers here. We attempted, but for me, I'll reach out to both my brothers here and was like, okay, I have an opportunity to just follow the blueprint. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna make you just raise your up. And they believe me, and they both winning. And I do that with all my people that I touch. Like, I don't charge anybody for any type of time. Sit down, let's talk business. How can
I can personally attest to that.
Yes.
Network, and I think that that's how we should move, right? And the problem is that we're about 2 or 3 generations lost due to crack. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yes.
Where that's missed, right? So now we're at a point where now we're playing catch up, right? Where I see, we haven't had that type of engagement, but I know with these two brothers, I broke bread with them, seeing, with their kids, and just seeing how they instill in them, how to be a young man, strong man, and how to live right, and move right. And I think that's collectively how we change the narrative, right? Because we're all not, on the corner. We're all not doing these negative things. Now, there's real brothers out here really trying to make some stuff happen.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I think that if we get back to the essence of who we are, right? I think that we all can, we can change that. And I, as I do with mine, I don't say to them like, oh, because you this height, we're gonna play some hoop. Like, nah, now we talking STEM talk, right? Because we got to change that, because if we can impact these babies, we can change the narrative, and then by them learning this, early, and we keep being there for them, going from fathers to advisors as they become older. Now they know their responsibility. Now we create a new cycle, right? So that's how we change the narrative.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And
Yes,
to
sir.
your point, where when you go there and you see it ain't right, you move over here. Why? Because of lessons. right, that I was given, and I'm gonna talk to my partner and say, like, you know what, I'm gonna move with you because that's the right way to move. So I just think that, you know, you own to something, and I think we all own to something, right?
Oh,
It's like, how do we change the narrative?
And it's I'm gonna say it's the willing to be trained.
That
And I
part,
say that
feel
because
I feel that.
he made the example of you know, somebody giving $1 million and they go broke in a month versus somebody getting a book. It doesn't matter. If you got that book and don't know what to do with the knowledge, you're still in the same position as the broke person that got $1 million.
No, God,
It's about when you get it, or if you get that knowledge, a brother that say, okay, you got the knowledge, let me show you what to do with it. And you got to be willing to accept it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's being trainable.
Teachable.
You know what I mean? It's teachable. And you said the mediocre thing, when you was coming up, you understand, when we was coming up, we had encyclopedias. We had the sources. We didn't have the access. We didn't have the knowledge that these kids that we have now. We just got to show them how to put this stuff in. You know what I mean? It's kids out here that's making money being a travel blogger, right? It's jobs that's out here now. I had this thing with me and Deshaun talk about all the time. I don't believe there's no such thing as a product of your environment. I don't believe that, right? Because there's nothing a white man got that a black man can't get. We just got to work a lot harder for it.
Facts.
And at this point in our lives, what you don't know, you can Google it, and you're gonna have 1,000 people telling you the steps on how to do it. We just got to be willing to do it. Right. We got to willing to do the research, but we want it handed to us. But we all know that if you work for it,
microwave popcorn,
if you work for that $1 million, you're gonna cherish it more than it being given to you.
Thank you. Fairness,
Facts.
but now you got to have in fairness though to a lot of these young people, right?
Go ahead.
In fairness to a lot of these young people, like they literally. You literally got the whole Encyclopedia Britannica right here in your hand, right?
Yes, you do.
But if you're coming from a household where no one achieved, no one has ever been there. When you get there, there's no one. Like my niece was at UC Berkeley, and she came in one day talking about she had a bad case of imposter syndrome. She had basically, I don't really think I belong, and I don't come from the same background as all the other ones. And out of respect to her parents, I never stepped over no boundaries to really get too involved with her. But I had to let her know. I said, hey, your uncle been all around the world. I done met some everybody, and I done rocked with the best in the world. You are actually one of the smartest people I've ever seen, and I don't even say that as just because you're my niece. You're not at UC Berkeley on accident.
Right.
You are never gonna be anywhere you're not supposed to be. If you are, you'll flame out. You're not flaming out. You got a 3-point something average. Don't let the right wingers on campus act like you're only there because of affirmative action. You're only there because this. You're only there because this. No, you're supposed to be there. And you're going to go very far in this world. But neither one of her parents had beyond 10th grade. You know what I'm saying? So she,
because let me tell you why though.
Well, no, I'm saying if you go places and you're not prepared, or you don't have anyone mentoring you or letting you know who's been places, then it doesn't matter what potential you have, you won't realize it because you're not prepared for the rigors.
You got to look at this. If you want to be somewhere, you're going to want to be there. Meaning, I tell my son this, and he's 13 years old.
Brother Broski, what's happening?
Everything you do in life has 2 choices. The way they attack you and get on you, it's either going to make you fall into a hole and you're going to get depressed and feel like you don't belong there, or it's going to motivate you wrong. Right? So nothing that your parents did to you should affect you at this point in your life, or any point in your life.
Well,
once you become an adult.
She was still 19, 20.
Okay, once you out that house, even in that house, you can sit up there and say, my dad's an alcoholic. I don't want to be like him. I'm not going to take that drink. My parents wasn't afforded the jobs they wanted because of their lack of education. So I'm gonna make sure that my education is on par so that I do not have the same issues my parents had.
You expect a 19-year-old to have that level of worldview?
It's 19-year-olds that do it though. You got a 12-year-old college student right now. They got 9-year-old college graduates. So at some point,
those are exceptions to the rule.
okay, but at some point they said,
But
okay,
it happens.
how many? Look, how many millionaires you know that
it's not
their
common.
kids are dummies? Let's look at the reverse part of it. Let's look at the reverse part of it.
Hard times build champions. Easy times build soft people.
So
If we look at it both ways, look at it. How many millionaires don't have millionaire kids? Right? Because their kids didn't want to apply what was being taught to them. And they had the example right in front of them.
right. So and the other part of that to your to your points,
You
right?
both have excellent
So
points.
so, for example, what we also have to take the responsibility is being part of the solution, right?
Yes.
So for me, one organization I'm part of is the OK program in Oakland, right? Mentoring program, and in that, it's a lot of those young brothers in there from middle school to high school that dad may not be there, or like you said, the support network is not really there. And so what we have now, we have a bunch of men, that come there to volunteer their time in Oakland Police Department as well, and that pour into these brothers, get them life skills, right? And be available to them, and then also assist them in the process of how to be able to become real productive men in society, help them get into college, things of that nature, right?
Yes.
And then also being part of the 100 Black Men, we also have the Junior 100, and we have the Collegiate 100, where we're really touching and bringing these young brothers along the process to be productive and have them surrounded by real men. Because like you said, if they don't have that guidance at home, where did they get it from? Right. There are organizations beyond the 100 and the OK that exist, but I just speak for what I'm a part of, where there are programs and organizations that are available that could be very impactful and change the narrative of what do we do with these young people. You know what I mean? So I just think that if parents don't have the time to pour in these kids, I think they should take the responsibility to try to find organizations that can pour into the children and just take that initiative and then send them there on those Saturdays to be a part of this. Just like, for example, we have our scholarship gala that's happening tomorrow. And we have 6 of our mentees that are from the OK program that that didn't have suits, that didn't have cufflinks, and a lot of the brothers, like in my class of 2023, we've all put our money together, donated, bought them off cufflinks, we bought them dress socks.
Gotcha.
Some of the brothers, we put money together to make sure they have food for their room, we pay for their room. So when men step up and these young brothers are exposed, they be like, oh man,
Somebody
you know
else
what I mean? That's how
have it.
Pharaoh does it. Okay, I learned this from Brother Deshaun. I learned this from Brother, McDowell. This is what it's like to be a real man. Now you change that, right? So I just think I just employ people on your show that's watching stuff like that. If you don't have the time, create the time to find and invest in your children that way, right? And even with basketball, like AAU, it's the same thing, right? You have some coaches that run AAUs just for the checks so you can pay their mortgage, right? But then you got some coaches and you got some parents that are there because
Shout out to Anthony Moore.
because they are extensions of true brothers that's trying to be there for these babies, right? I've seen this brother firsthand, grabbing kids, talking to them, and giving them guidance, and they just another young man that played with his son. Right, because most of these games I go to, I see the mothers there. I don't see the fathers there. So I just think that everybody just needs to take a moment, look around, like, okay, the access is there to help nurture and bring my son, my daughter along. I just need to go and make the connection, and be okay with passing them over. Right. And I think that's how we change it, man.
True.
And to that point, it's funny, it's funny, but it's not funny. It's so bad at these AAU games, and I'm being so serious. It's so bad that if you a black man walking into the game, you get in free because they think you the coach. That's how big the absence is of black fathers in the stands.
Facts.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Facts.
every time
baseball now, and I pay his tuition, but it's dope when you look at, like you said, I got. There's a few games of his career that I've missed, but I have damn near every at bat on video. From T-ball to college ball. He's a sophomore. But that's that, like you said, that building, that bridge, that doing that, that's touching, that reaching. And I put him in. Y'all know we make sure they get what they get. Like Trey is phenomenal. Dope. I get his rookie card now because next year the price ain't coming down. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But that's what we talk about when we talk about melanated excellence when it comes to us and what we do. And also the thing about that, we talking about sports with that, but that's not the focus because we've always been exceptional at everything when it comes to physical shit compared to every other species. But cerebrally, we are far dominant, and those are the things we need to touch on more.
Facts.
Because we fall into this narrative of I got to be an entertainer, a rapper, a dingleberry or something, or some reality show shit. You motherfucker, you hoes. That shit. We fall into that narrative of that, but it's like there's so much more. It's like we got our folks, Cat Bobineau, STEM. You know, in the know with Cat Bobineau, she does STEM. She doing interviews with astronauts and people who out there in the great beyond the firmament. You know, all that shit. But a lot of us, majority of the melanated people, we just fuck that and give us your 40 time.
See, but you know what though? I agree but disagree, and I'm gonna say it only because me being out there, these is what these kids look up to.
True.
Sometimes you have to use what they look up to teach them life lessons. So when they're playing football and they don't, hey, look, check this out. You got to know in life you're not going to get every girl you want. You're not going to get every job. You got to learn how to convert what they love into life lessons. You know what I mean? And that would help them understand it better.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, yes, sports, it's an avenue or whatnot, but you also got to be taught. There's a lot of athletes that got hurt and became broke, right? So we also got to teach them, you know what I mean, this is what life is and this is how things go. And I just happen to use it through sports. I mean, and not, but it also is mainly a thing here in California. And I said that because I just went to Louisiana, and their football stadium holds 15,000 people, and the whole community there.
Oh, of
they
course.
closed.
To your point. Now, we know why NFL played on Sundays, right? So this is facts. NFL games were played on Sundays because initially they wanted to do Fridays. Texas runs football, high school. That's just like a fucking religion. And they couldn't get the commitment to Fridays. They want NFL initially when it was football, pro football, wanted to do Fridays. We're talking about high school football said they was generally like, we at our kids' games. That's why the NFL plays on Sundays. A lot of people don't know that.
Hey, but, and again, shout out to Starter Louisiana, who won the state championship last night at the New Orleans Superdome.
Speaking of state championships, them Grant Pacers is playing
right
now. Actually, the game might be over by now, but they was winning 20-something.
Shares in the bank.
It was that Grant was up a hella much. They playing for the state championship right now down in SoCal. So shout out to them Pacers, man. Class of '92.
But you gotta have some real. But back to Vic's point, you gotta have. Like you say, you got the kids looking up to this, right? But you also got to have people with a certain amount of self-awareness and critical thinking.
Yes.
Like I've had, and their son is obviously going to be 5'6", and he wants to be a basketball player, and you be like, "Well, I'm not here to shit on the kid's dream." But this is obviously unrealistic. He's not even starting.
No.
He's not even starting, and he's gonna have. See, you can't bring up an exception and be like, Okay.
It can happen.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay, put you like this.
I get where
Muggsy
you're
Bogues
going.
was 5'3".
Same
See
thing.
that go back to the self-awareness thing.
Mm-hmm.
Muggsy Bogues was only like 5'3", 5'4", right?
Size of the dog
And
eat.
start-
But Muggsy Bogues, the greatest high school basketball team ever, was Muggsy Bogues at the point. The two dudes who ended up being the forwards at Georgetown when they were David Wingate and like basically, and Muggsy Bogues is 5'3" and could dunk. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He could dunk. We talking about
That's
48-inch vertical.
That's
We
excessive.
talking about
Excessive.
like for instance, Nate Robinson is
Thank you,
listed
Ed.
at 5'8", right? Nate Robinson, if you ever actually see Nate Robinson, he's no part of 5'8". But Nate Robinson won the NBA dunk contest. We
3
talking
times.
about, but my point is that we're talking a level of athleticism that
It's
very
just
few
commitment.
people walk. No, I ain't commitment.
So-
Commitment. You
so-
commit all you want
I
to
think I had to change it
plyometrics.
on
You're
a-
not gonna
on a
have a
different point of
45-inch
view.
vertical.
But
What I'm saying though
is
is that we give these kids they looking up to these athletes, this and that, right? And they spending their whole life, and they physically just ain't capable. Like I've been in boxing gyms pretty much my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that come in, and you can look at them in a few minutes, and you can know if you know what you're looking at. You can look at them and be like, I don't care how much heart he has. I don't care how much he trains. He doesn't have the physical ability, because you could train, you could get in shape and have heart, and you could win some fights. But at a certain point, you're going to get in front of someone who also trains just as hard as you, but has twice as much fast twitch, muscle fiber, this and that. So you could train hard and get to a journeyman status. But to get to that elite world-class level, you got to train hard, plus you have to have a certain level of God-given ability.
But I think the example. you
Any
use
one
is-
of us
is
sitting
wrong.
here could train just as hard as Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd trains harder than anybody. We're not going to have the same success because you do not have the innate gifts
Hard work.
that he was.
So-
that
so
he had.
Talent when talent don't
Let's,
work hard.
hold on. I think the example he used was. I understand what he's saying, but
Yeah, I
I think
do
the
too.
example was wrong.
Yeah.
And I say that because you could train fast twitch muscles. You could train. It all really
Not
only
to the
comes
level
down.
of a
hold on,
Zab
hold on,
Judah.
Hold on. It
Oh,
all-
Sugar Ray Leonard, you can't
it
train
comes-
to that level.
It comes to
Nobody can.
dedication and where you want to be at. Now, I've had parents come to me like my son.
I can
hold
put you on a heavy.
hold on,
I can put
hold
you on a heavy
hold
bag and a speed bag, and in 10 minutes tell you exactly what your
So-
ceiling is going to
So
be.
let me finish saying what I'm saying. So that don't mean, because I can change all that. I can change all that. And I'm telling you that because right now, at 50 years old, I'm still bitching over 400 pounds. And there's 20-year-olds that ain't doing it. It's about how you train and what you want. First
Hard
off. Second
work.
off, again, it
And you
comes
think
to
that's just hard work?
Hold on. Yeah? Yes, because if you see my dad is 5'9". My dad is 5'9", all of 150 pounds, 160 pounds. You know what I mean? This is me training. This is me
You
training.
work hard, but you also have a certain level of
But
natural ability.
all black
too.
people do. That's what white people tell me when I was in the army. Oh, you run faster than me because you got extra muscle in your calf. You
What?
know what I mean? That's what I was told. Your ass sit up higher. So no. Well, that's what I'm saying. To your
Okay.
point. No, and I'm being real. It's
I've
different.
heard that.
What
That's
I'm
why
saying,
we can't
it's
swim,
different.
too.
It's when I get a kid that's 6'2", 240 pounds, and their mama like, I want him to play football. Mama, if it's not in him, he can't play it. I can teach technique all day, but if he don't have aggression, if he don't want to be on that field, ain't nothing I can do to put him out there. The same thing with basketball, and we've seen it. We've seen 6'4", 13-year-olds, right? Never played basketball before, or don't even care about basketball, but because their parents want to play basketball, they out there. So use those as an example. But you can train to be whatever you want to be. You can train. You got to look like this. Deontay Wilder at one point had a good career. He didn't start boxing till he was 21 when his daughter got sick. He was on a full ride as a defensive lineman at Alabama. So you could get trained to be that. He didn't know nothing about boxing, but he found out he could make some good money if he became a boxer.
He wouldn't did it.
So to come full circle to your initial statement, right? The 5'6" kid, right? Where I agree with you is being realistic, because I've always been that way, right? And when kids came through me playing ball, it was my goal was to get them to college, right? To give them an opportunity,
Which
to
is an achievable goal,
Right,
even
right.
for the 5'6" kid.
right, to become self-sufficient, right? I always would say up front, I'm never going to promise you I'm going to get you to the league because there's only 450 players in the NBA, right? So
right on they have to be.
Yeah.
right. So with that being so with that being said, it's really just an opportunity to get you to college, so then you can potentially get a degree to take care of yourself, right? And I give you one young man that I've known through my son since he was probably 12 years old, Kiwi Gardner, right? Kiwi all of 5'7".
He went to Villanova, right?
No. So Kiwi went to Providence.
Oh, I knew it was big
Providence.
East. Okay.
Crazy handles, dunking, the whole nine. Very skilled, did his thing. Everybody know his story. You know, he's from the town. Everybody know Kiwi. But that's a prime example of you got all the talent in the world, but just because of your height, you can't cross that threshold and get into the league. You see what I'm saying? But because he was, driven, he had really great people around him, like KP and all those other guys. He made a career out of playing hoop, right? And training and teaching. I think he's in Taiwan right now, right?
Okay.
The training and hoop.
So he's still able to.
He's still active in that sport.
He's able to make a living doing what he loves.
Exactly. But I think that it's important that all that touching these young men and these young ladies at an early age is being realistic and letting them know, like, hey, these are the different opportunities in case you don't make it, right? And prepare them for that, right? And also give them that extra information, like, if you go this route and you stay in school and you get your degree, potentially you can make $200,000-$300,000 if this don't work out, right? So I just think that, the 5'6" kid, additional conversation comes with that.
And I also want to say, in regards to Deontay Wilder, there's a reason why he will stretch his punchers in heavyweight history by far. Like literally, no, thank you. Like literally, if you put down the top 10 heavyweight punchers, you would have to put Wilder in there. Now there's this bias because, like, people say, well, what about Mike Tyson, this and that, and then you'll say, but anybody that really knows boxing will know that literally Tyson fought nothing but cans. There's nobody that Tyson knocked out that Deontay Wilder wouldn't kill. But there's a couple dudes that Deontay Wilder knocked out who were tougher than anybody that Tyson fought.
Stop.
Razor Ruddock.
He gets no more drinks.
No more drinks. Hold on. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you one thing about that. No, I just want to say one thing. Razor Ruddock literally was a manufactured fighter. That was a manufactured fighter. He couldn't even throw a right. He threw this left uppercut hook that he threw. Normally, when you boxing, if you dig into the body with this, you come over with the right. Razor Ruddock, you can look at his fights on YouTube.
Makes you the better boxer, though.
No,
I'm not going to do it everything.
And no one. And hold on. Here's the thing about Razor Ruddock. You cannot.
You comparing Tyson and
Tyson fought cans.
Bro, you know what? It's just like, your statement now is no different than LeBron is greater than Jordan, right?
No, not necessarily.
No, hear me out.
Not necessarily.
So because it's about errors, right? At that particular time, you cannot. Correct me if I'm wrong, and even your listeners can as well. You name me one top fighter in Tyson's era, right? That he dodged.
Tim Witherspoon. Michael Dokes. That's two.
Did he dodge him?
Don King dodged him.
So that's not Michael.
So wait, name another fighter.
But that was his man. But I'm just saying, what Buster Douglas did to Tyson, Tim Witherspoon would have did to him.
No, that was a lucky
worse.
punch.
Hey,
no, he beat Tyson for pillar the post.
Politics.
That was the white girls and the cocaine.
Thank you.
Let me tell you something.
Okay, let's do this.
Tim Witherspoon would have beat Mike Tyson.
Name another boxer before Tyson.
I would say
name another boxer before
Tyson. Name the toughest guy Tyson beat.
Before Tyson, during Tyson, and right now, name another boxer that fought 14 times in 1 year.
A lot of people do that on
the
come up.
No.
Do you see the record of the
That's
dude?
2 fights a month.
Tyson did that in '85.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Are you serious?
BoxRec is your friend.
Go ahead. Look
BoxRec
it
is
up.
your friend. Oh, trust me, I know.
14. It does.
Well, what's the point,
again,
though?
again.
What's the point?
What's the point
No,
of the year?
the point of what I'm saying is that
And he was what, 19 years
you
old.
cannot name a single guy who you can name hype jobs like Razor Ruddock, who actually watch Razor Ruddock against Lennox Lewis, watch Razor Ruddock against
That
Tommy
was a
Morrison.
side suggestion.
No, listen.
Everybody
let
had
me
problems
finish
with
the
fighting
point.
Lennox Lewis because he was taller than everybody.
Okay,
but
well,
then,
Tommy
when
Morrison.
Lennox Lewis went up against Kukos and he bust his eye, and they tried to say it was off the glove, Lennox Lewis didn't look the
He
same.
said, "I don't want to fight him again."
If you go,
And he retired.
if you go check,
That was some
if
hustle.
you go
man.
check, if you
That
go
was like
check,
the 90 dudes. I don't want to
check
do that.
Razor Ruddock's record. Razor Ruddock does not have one single legitimate win.
So let's go back to right before he won his
You
title.
must be a fan of
Right before he won his title, right, to when he got out of prison.
Free Jack.
We,
What's
we,
happening?
we go that way, right? The evolution of boxers kept changing this way, right?
Tyson actually,
because they
Tyson
need
was.
to put people-
Let me clarify this. Tyson was a truly talented fighter, but Tyson fought in what's considered a down era. Everyone that Tyson fought in his title reign from 86 to 90, everyone that he fought, Tim Witherspoon or Larry Holmes had already beat them.
Hey,
he fought
You
nothing
sound like a
but
Jake
left
Paul
hook.
fan.
No, listen. You can go look at the record. There's not a single. There's not a. Hold on.
Where did this even come
Wait.
from?
Listen. Let me finish this one. Let me finish the last sentence. I just told y'all something that's factual that people that really know boxing know that y'all didn't know.
So you don't like Floyd either? then?
Any-
Hold on, you don't like Mayweather either?
No, Floyd's one of the top of all time.
Wait. So he didn't fight people. So we just have.
No, let me finish this one sentence to give you a context on Tyson.
Please finish.
There's not a guy that Tyson beat in his championship run that Tim Witherspoon or Larry Holmes hadn't already beat.
Wait for this. Cool. You may be correct, right?
No, it's not correct. You
No,
can
no,
Google
no.
it.
It's fine. It's fine. You may be correct. So then you don't like Mayweather because if you look at
Mayweather's a sensational fighter.
Hold on. This is my ask. If you look at the people that he fought, right? There's some of the big names on the back end. Were they at their prime on the back end of their career?
They avoided him. Like Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley avoided Floyd.
Pacquiao.
Pacquiao would not sign the contract because Pacquiao was
that
roided
part
up.
is.
Yeah.
Well, he tried to fight Pacquiao at a young age,
Yeah.
and Pacquiao wouldn't do. They didn't like the money. It was a money thing. But
No, Pacquiao got roided up after Marquez knocked him out, and he didn't want to go through the value.
So my point, my thing is that
Look at Pacquiao's physique at one. Nobody in the history of boxing ever went from 130
Boxing fan.
to 147
Boxing
and
fan.
was knocking.
Okay.
He was one punch. He was going life and death with Marquez and Morales at 130, but at 147 he was putting Hatton on a stretcher.
Hey,
Nobody's the only person who's ever done
Bud
that.
Crawford got a belt in 4 different weight
is
classes.
Holyfield, and we know
Bud
what's up
Crawford
with
got a
Holyfield.
belt in 4
Brother
different weight
Ames, what's
classes.
happening?
Oh,
You
Crawford,
said
Crawford is a raw
You
fighter.
just,
got a
said, you
comment.
just said name one boxer. I
you
just
said
did.
they beat the same people, but not the same way.
Here's the context. Here's the context for Crawford.
You're all right.
So you gotta know the back ends of these things. When Crawford was fighting at 135, he was coming in the ring at 158. The night of the
That
fight,
was
he
to
was
do the weight
158.
thing. No, you just
No,
said.
just
Hold
said-
on. You just said
No.
other boxing. I just named one that
No.
did. It doesn't matter.
No.
Hold on.
Here's the
When
here's the
Hey, look,
context.
No.
to it.
It's no context because
Yes,
if you get in the ring, you get in the ring, a dog or not. Like I tell my son.
No,
my
that's
son.
not-
Hold on.
that's not-
Yeah, let me
that's
tell you
not
why.
true.
My son. The bigger guys, right? And I say, check this out. If that bigger dude wanted to punch your mama, would you care if he was a 12-year-old, or would you care if he was 18? You're going to fight him regardless, right? So when you signed that contract, before you went in that ring, you knew when he hydrate, he bumps up 15 pounds. You knew that. 90% of boxers got hydration causes.
Yeah, that's what I'm finna say.
Come
That's
on,
what.
man.
That's
Hold on,
what they started
You're not a
doing.
true boxing fan, bro. You're a boxing talker,
Hold
bro.
on, Crawford,
You're not a boxing fan.
Crawford is
What's
able
happening?
to put in work at 147 because at 147, Crawford is fighting at the weight he should have always
That's a
fought.
lot of fighters.
Top ranked, this
Javante
and that.
Davis do the same
Hold
thing.
on, hold on.
Come on, bro. Like
Floyd used to weigh in at 147 and get in the ring at 147.
But again, Floyd, boy, look at it like this.
But he
Floyd
walked
Mayweather-
around
Floyd-
at his.
Floyd Mayweather is
Floyd,
the only one.
but Floyd
walked around at
at
his weight.
147 and fought at 147. Crawford at
But
one
listen,
point was
listen.
fighting at
How many
135
weight
and weighing
classes-
158.
How many weight classes was Floyd Mayweather in?
He was in 130, 135, 140, 147, and he picked up a belt at 154.
He didn't have a belt in all those.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
At 130,
And five
135,
different-
140, yes.
And four,
147,
not
yes.
five. You name five. In
But
four.
Crawford is a hell of a fighter.
Right.
Crawford is a
But no, but-
unique
but
individual.
see,
But now
you,
Crawford's
I know
gonna
you.
go up 3
Hold on.
to switch it.
Farrell is a he's a
Crawford's at his
professional
limit.
deflector.
Crawford is at
He
his
said
limit.
ain't no other boxer did it, and he just named himself 3 boxers that did it.
Crawford, no.
He just
I'm saying, what I'm saying is,
What was the
no,
comment? you
Tony?
made? What was the comment?
Oh,
you
the
made?
comment was from Brother Ames. What's up?
no,
Brother
what I
Ames?
was saying was,
He said they beat the same people, but not the same way.
no, see, the thing
I
about,
feel that.
Pacquiao was, you look at Pacquiao at 130, he
left
was
the Tyson
losing to
conversation.
Barrera. He
put in a year worth of work, your body's gonna change, bro. I don't care who you is.
No, we're talking about dude that was already a world champion.
but it doesn't matter where you at. Again, I'm benching over 400 and I'm 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? I can win a weightlifting competition at 50 years old because I've trained my body to do that. It's all about how you eat and how you train no matter what, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, or boxing. How you
Hard.
train determines your outcome.
Put it to you like this.
Look, wait.
If you look
Hold on,
at, if you
I'm
look at
finna- I'm finna-
Holyfield,
I'm finna
if you look
prove
at
you wrong.
Holyfield with the first bow
Hold on,
fight,
let me
look
prove
at
you
his
wrong.
musculature, and
Hold on,
look
Ray.
at his
Hold on, prove
musculature
you
in
wrong.
the second bow fight.
I'm wrong. Steroids don't make a man.
Nope.
Jose Canseco and Jamie Canseco both took steroids, and his brother never left the minors. Same thing with Jason Giambi and his brother. They both did steroids, and one never left the minors.
I'm gonna give you
You
Mark
still
McGuire.
got to hit the ball. You still got to work out. You got to try. Go to Fitness
I know you was
19
going. I was
right
ready
here
for
on
that.
Durant.
If his vision, if he had 20/20 vision, so regardless of the steroids, he had the talent. But you can have talent, but you got to work hard. Because once again, hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. Same thing with Barry. They say Barry was thin and then just. And I'm a baseball guy, so I love that y'all.
Are we gonna say Barry is clean? Barry was
I don't
clean.
give a fuck what he is. He can be
We got-
dirty or
we got-
whatever,
we
but
gotta
here's
talk
the
about
thing.
that off camera.
You got to be able to hold
At the
on.
gym.
Baseball, because we can go into that contract that old boy just signed too, which I want to get into. But here's the thing: talent and hard work. Baseball, you have milliseconds. So, steroids, you know, I get the whole steroids conversation, but you still have to be able to move and make the shit happen.
But one dude is hitting it to the warning track, and another dude is putting the four
still gotta
rolls in the
connect.
thing.
You still got to have the
gotta connect.
ability.
You're enhanced.
Even with okay,
You gotta be
can
able to
a strong
react.
puncher, but can't hit nobody. What good are you as a boxer if you got the steroids and you strong as shit, but you can't hit nobody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense, bro.
Boxers
And like I
actually
said,
take-
I'm
boxers
glad
actually
y'all
take-
went there.
boxers
Mark
actually take
McGuire-
Winstrol.
Mark McGuire's eyesight
It's
was
steroid.
shit, and he still was
Or Cleveland
boom.
roll.
When he
Because
connected,
you
it
wanna
was
stay
over.
lean.
Or Clem. But it just
Look at Barry. Same thing.
No,
Now, we get to baseball, so let's tap into baseball a little bit. So we got
There was no Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. has one of the greatest swings in
Natural
baseball
swings.
ever. Natural swings ever. Natural swings, the greatest hitter in baseball?
Alex Rodriguez.
No. The greatest hitter? The greatest at-bat person? Tony Gwynn.
Didn't have a lot of power.
He didn't say home runs. He said hitter.
I said
But I mean,
hitter.
that all counts. Like, for instance,
no.
you got Tony
No.
Gwynn batting 300 and hitting 200 home runs, and Alex Rodriguez batting 300 and he gave you 600 home runs.
Let me give you something. You ready for this? Tony Gwynn? Tony Gwynn.
San Diego's finest.
Hey. Tony Gwynn. Pete Rose is the hit champ. But when it comes to all-around hitting athlete, Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn has
Carew, actually,
shout out to Rod Carew. But Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn has I'm trying to remember this
No
stat.
love for Ichiro.
Ichiro's cool, but they don't fuck with Tony
He
Gwynn.
would have said Bo
Tony
Jackson
Gwynn
took steroids.
Tony Gwynn
No,
has
you can look
Tony
at Bo
Gwynn
Jackson in high
has
school
less
doing that.
strikeouts
Oh, I know
as a
people that
top
said he
tier.
took steroids in high
Look, two with an 0-2 count has more hits than all y'all favorites. Striking out, swinging strikeouts,
Bo didn't even lift.
fewer than
Bo didn't
any
even
major
lift.
league player. And Tony Gwynn played down there 20 years.
Well, shit.
Tony Gwynn is by far, look at stats and look at everything we count, the greatest hitter in baseball history.
I'm not a baseball guy.
Hey, so now I'm learning. I've been watching this enough, and I'm here in person to see it. Farrell is sound good. I think he don't believe half the stuff he say, but he make it sound convincing.
Hey, yo.
He makes it sound convincing.
That was
Hey, no, y'all gotta understand.
Cat? Shout out to
Two of the dudes that Tyson defended against signed their contract. No, I'm just saying. There's knowledge that I have that's not common
No,
knowledge.
no,
Like
no,
Pinklin
disrespect.
Thomas
I got
and
you.
Tyrell Biggs were both literally in rehab when they signed their contracts,
Maybe
and
so
they brought
correct.
them out and put them in against Tyson. That was the level of
Hey,
opposition that he faced.
So let's turn it the opposite way.
Mhm.
What was every opponent excuse when John Jones beat their ass and he had just got off cocaine?
Well, John Jones is arguably
But
one of the
no.
best
But
UFC
you
fighters
just
ever.
said fighting the dope fiend is fighting the dope fiend, right?
No.
No, you just
That's not what I'm
hold on.
saying.
That's what you just said.
No.
You just said
Ain't
both the
big and
people you
choose.
named.
John Jones.
Oh, my God.
John
It's the
Jones
same
is
thing.
It's
exceptionally
the same
talented.
thing, bro. It's
No,
the
hold
same
on,
thing.
my
Drugs
bad.
are bad,
Tyson's
okay?
exceptionally gifted too.
Yeah, so Tyson is gifted. But what I'm saying, it was a combination of two things: gifted and rig ups.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you this question.
What?
Wait, hold on, fam.
Tyrell Biggs
So
was
I
a rig
have
up.
a question with boxing,
Yes.
right? Just have a question. When you look at all the champions, right? Let's just say recent champions, another way to frame it. When you look at the beginning when they were tabbed that guy, you're next up to that night when they won the fight, they got the belt, to their title defenses. How many of those fights were, you gonna fight him tonight? You gonna fight him tonight?
Them picks.
Yeah, Ken.
Just
yeah.
But it's not the majority
Your
of the
first
fighters.
15, 20 fights is usually.
But that's the majority
Yeah.
of the fighters,
Yeah.
right? So once they get that belt, right, and now it's time to get into that mode of title defense. Again, it doesn't the same thing happen where they pick and choose who they fight. It's never the best guy. It's never the best guy.
Right.
But in theory,
But
it
it's
should
never.
be.
But it
Look
should.
at
No,
your
but
boy
it's.
Haney.
But you can't look at
Haney gave up his belt 'cause he didn't want to fight
guys'
Split
records and say,
Stevens.
"Oh, they
But-
did." Put you like this: he don't get no respect.
My question is, but it's never the best guy. And when it comes to title
You can't
defense,
say that about everybody.
No, I'm saying majority of the title
Majority,
defense
yes.
is never the
Majority,
best
yes.
guy.
But
in
then you
defense.
look at somebody like he don't get no respect, but like Vladimir Klitschko literally defended the title against everybody out there that was supposed to be good. In fact, in fighters against Brian Jennings and stuff, Klitschko was selling out 80,000 seats in Germany, and Katz was over here talking about, I don't want to go to Germany. So he came over here because they said Brian Jennings was supposed to be the number one contender. He came over here and fought him in Madison Square Garden and took 30% of his purse because Klitschko didn't allow anyone to be supposed to be second time.
No, but is that the
No,
majority?
there's context to that.
Lennox
literally retired.
Lennox actually retired because he didn't want to go back.
You're not letting me finish. Lennox retired after he beat Tyson.
Hold on.
And they convinced him to.
No, he didn't.
No, I have a question.
Let me finish the sentence. Y'all don't know what I know.
I know
Lennox retired after the Tyson fight. They convinced him, and he sat out for a year, and they convinced him to say, let's have one fight, one like a retirement fight. And he signed to fight Kirk Johnson.
No.
Yes, he did. Google it. Let me.
He fought Klitschko and he had a rematch clause in his contract.
You're not letting me
finish.
You didn't let me finish because the next words I was going to say was going to like that. He actually signed to fight Kirk Johnson. 3 weeks before the fight, Kirk Johnson pulled out. And they said, we're going to postpone the fight. Lennox said, hey, man, I'm done. So y'all need to bring somebody in on that day because I'm not going past that day. And that's how they brought in Vitaly. It was only 3 weeks. He had 3 weeks to prepare for Vitaly. But Lennox was already retiring. And there wasn't a rematch clause.
It was.
No,
that's why he retired, because he wanted to fight him. Look it up. You look it up. No, you look that up.
I know.
Look it up. Look it up. No,
I know.
You don't, bro.
I know.
That's
Lennox
why
retired after the Tyson fight.
I'm sorry.
Look how long of a stretch it was from the Tyson fight to that fight. And look, Google, did he sign to fight Kirk Johnson?
Statement.
He
won. Tonight, not one stat you said today you can prove. Not one stat tonight you can prove. You have not proven nothing you said tonight.
Lennox Lewis won.
Lennox Lewis. Did you even know that he only had 3 weeks to prepare for the Klitschko fight? Did you know that?
May I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, here's my question, brother. When you say that
y'all ain't even heard of Kirk Johnson.
Brother, I have a question.
Hold on,
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So in regards to those that defended their belt, wouldn't you say it's safe to say that the
Lennox Lewis versus Kirk Johnson canceled?
We don't care.
Johnson's fight with Lewis off.
He answered the question.
you say if we don't care?
He answered the question.
We don't care about Kirk
I
Johnson.
mean,
But that doesn't prove your point. Yes, he was going to fight it, but that doesn't mean the retirement part. And you said it was no rematch clause in that contract. It was. Everybody knows that.
Lennox was not intending to fight. No, what I'm saying is that Lennox was not.
Lennox
Lennox was taking a retirement fight with Kirk Johnson.
I'm just going. It's all good. It's all good. We got our history lesson tonight on boxing. Respect.
Yeah, that's right.
So, did anybody watch the Jamie Foxx special?
Yes.
So, what's your thoughts on that?
I watched it last night.
What's your thoughts on it?
I thought,
Yes, okay.
and the thing I will say is,
You're not proving that you said it.
as usual with social media, you got everybody giving an opinion on it before. So, I seen both sides of shit, people's shit, and I try to. Usually I disregard everybody's shit. Mm-hmm. But it's hard to try to watch something without somebody prejudice and shit.
Not to cut you off this quick one, because he was showing me bullshit.
I know.
What was the original question?
You
can't be talking about Jamie Foxx.
Did you watch Jamie Foxx?
No, I haven't watched it yet. So go ahead. I was trying to figure what you was going with.
Yeah. So I watched it, and it was a story, and because we mentioned earlier that he had the same, and once I said we was gonna get on it, so I'm glad we going here. He had on the same color outfit that Martin did on the Run Tell That when Martin went through his near-death shit. So once again, y'all being.
He said he was paying homage to him, though. He said that. He said that. He said he was paying homage to him.
I can respect that.
Right.
I can respect.
But please continue.
I can respect that, and I didn't feel looking at. Once again, like I said, before I watched it, I heard bullshit on both sides of it. So I went in and I was like, okay, I'm trying to move everything out that I've already heard because I really like to watch shit objectively without, any bias to shit. Because you heard, this some bullshit, and like you said. And I laughed. He was like, nigga, you niggas think I'm a clone, y'all this, that. And he spoke on some emotional shit. So, as a melanated king, because we all talked about vulnerability. What we talked about is us being able to be vulnerable in this society now, because it's frowned upon for us. So I looked at that, and was like, well, damn, he being vulnerable, and he said some shit. Because I also saw shit where, man, this motherfucker was doing oh, y'all saved my life, and there was no tears. So you get that part of it, because I'm always looking out for the hoodwink. But as a, how can I say this?
Was it what you thought it was going to be?
I was just looking forward to this man telling his story. When I went and watched it, I removed both sides of the shit I heard and just watched it from a blank canvas. And I try to watch comedy specials from a blank canvas because motherfucker make me laugh. Or tell your story, entertain me, because that's your job.
So
And
was it taped live?
I believe so.
'Cause I've been at live tapings, right?
Yeah.
And what I seen at the show and what was edited and when it came on TV was two completely different things.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't like live. Like it was.
I mean, it's been
it was
edited. So
really
it's certain
detailed.
things that, because I've heard in, conversations where Jamie Foxx's bodyguard came out and said this, and this, right? I haven't seen the comedy show to see if that was mentioned in there, but the bodyguard was naming dates and times where these certain situations happen. So I'm saying there's some things that may have been, yeah, you know what, you spoke your mind, you got it off, but I don't think this should be put out there.
It could be. Because
So it seemed, it'll sound kind of funny, like, oh, it don't sound real because they cut out a part that could have made you feel that way.
Yeah, I know when I watched it, you know, I was looking for a comedy special, right? I'm ready to laugh, whatever. So when we put it on, you know, I was on my laptop working. You know what I mean? Like I'm just listening, and what he was literally doing was just sharing his experiences of what transpired. Then he had some laughter in there. You know what I mean? But I did as you, right? I was questioning where the tears. You know what I mean? And I seen that it was almost like every 10 minutes he had that same moment. You know what I mean? And again, I don't know. It could have been true and correct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm just saying by me just being a viewer. So when I walked away from watching, like, it was cool.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
wasn't
mean?
disappointed.
No, but it was like, it's not something I think I need to run that back.
Right.
You know, that was my take on it.
I don't have it. And
So I've seen
go ahead.
Jamie Foxx before he went into a stroke. I've seen him live. He was at San Jose. And I'm going to say he was one of the most entertaining comedians I've ever seen. That was because he went from Jamie Foxx to Jawanda to
And he did that.
to Ray Charles
He did all that.
He did that.
He did that.
to his singing his album.
He did that.
I mean, he was just
Yeah, he did that.
It was not the same though.
Yeah.
No.
He did, to your point, he did those things, and I will say his stance was, nigga, I'm not a clone. Really, that's what I took from this. Like, nigga, if I was a clone, I couldn't do this. And he said it.
Yeah.
I brought you this. And I'm just being, once again, like I said, the middle, just watching. It was some good testimony shit. And like you said, y'all heard people on social media, man, I broke down in this. Because he told a story about some real emotional shit.
Wouldn't your
Which-
clone have your same abilities?
You're going to exactly where I'm going into. So, once again, and I was like, I wasn't trying to buy into the shit.
Oh my God.
I told you the
Right.
Pharaoh's my
Yeah,
God.
because I know there's a part of me that was just like, okay,
Clone
if you spin, yeah, because I was like, which I'm not saying he a clone, I'm not saying he not. I'm just like, and I don't know. So once again, I don't know, so I can't sit here and say, nigga, that ain't him. That's just that, nigga. That's not my field of expertise. Yeah. But I recall specials that I've watched him before. He did this shit. And the way he laid it out was like, nigga, if I was a clone, I couldn't do this. And to your point, I'm being devil's advocate. Nigga, they can make a clone do that. If that was that. But I don't care.
But you also-
Yeah,
but you
I
also
know.
gotta
But
look
I don't
like
care. But
it's some people
his
that
shit
have
was,
had-
it was a great story. And to my point before, because one of the things I saw, and the social media, the gift and the curse and the devil that it can be at times, they was pushing the headline of he spoke on the Diddy shit, and
See,
I watched it.
that's
That's
what
where I'm
people
going
looking
to.
for.
And I'm
People
like,
looking for that.
nigga,
People are looking for that.
I'm like, he didn't go into what y'all was speculating on like that.
But I think that was a draw, though.
Exactly.
Right.
And was it his team? Wasn't his team? Because as a celebrity, all press is good press. So I watched the show.
Who don't do that?
Right. As I watched the show, I won't say I was not disappointed as a person, as a viewer. I wasn't disappointed, but I watched it like, okay. And there's that part that's like, is this some bullshit? Because we're fed this shit to make us think that shit. And to doubt ourselves as melanated people.
Gotcha.
At the same time, his mystery illness, because he was getting on Cat, and Cat, remember Cat started off 2024 with the boom, but that's a story in itself.
Oh, here we go.
Now I have a question. I have a question for Pharaoh though. On Lawrence.
Yes, I did.
Okay, and what do you recall what that special was about?
No, it's been so long.
Wasn't his near-death experience?
Yeah, he was on the freeway with the gun and all that.
Yeah. Losing weight with the garbage bag.
Art imitates life, or
no.
Imitation is the sincerest form
Niggas
of
getting
flattery.
spoon-fed.
But you also got to look at it like this, though.
Right. Because
It's been several comedians that done told their story. And so Kevin Hart had Laugh at My Pain. I mean, it's done, right? But you got to look at Martin's first comedy versus Run Tell That, Jamie Foxx before. When you have a come to Jesus moment, you're going to see differences in your comedy.
No. You may be spot on with that. I don't disagree. I was just saying the comparisons. Even though he said that he paid homage to Martin, it was almost like for like.
Because I need to do this.
It was almost like from what he wore.
The detractors, exactly.
From what he wore to the base of the special.
But sometimes that's their therapy, though.
Mark Anthony is a fool. He said they should add Diddy to the Bible, the way niggas think he could just appear anywhere. They give him Diddy. If the sun turned black, they gonna blame Diddy.
We've been able to talk to each other.
Yeah.
To talk about our pain, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes actors and comedians use the stage and talk to people about their pain. And
you're right.
You may laugh at it. Marlon Wayans did it. You know what I mean? A lot of comedians did it. That was their way of getting it off their chest.
Comedians, as a general, and I'm generalizing this, but a lot of comedians tell you, a lot of their jokes, their shit is based on their pain. And even with pure singers and.
Oh, you talking about Mary J?
Singers, it's her, but I'm talking about comedians on this. A lot of comedians,
too, right?
Yeah, a lot of people put their life into their craft, and it's their way of opening up because it's therapeutic.
Right.
Music and entertainment tames the savage beast. Because remember, back in the Roman days, they said, "Let them eat cake. I'm gonna give you niggas the Coliseum, sports. I'm gonna give you this shit to distract you." And y'all niggas fall for it all the time. You do. Every Sunday, y'all niggas watch football. Every Thursday, you watch football.
Hold on.
You watch wrestling on Saturdays and Sundays and Mondays. And you watch tennis when chicks have on little shorts. And I like volleyball.
I played football, man. Leave football a lot of this, man.
I'm just saying, sports is entertainment and this is a distraction.
Yeah, it is. But it's
It is
entertaining to the people that's entertaining, too.
It's
That's just like people who got mad at the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight. Like, that was pure entertainment. If you got mad at it, that was used the dummy.
Don't say anything, Pharaoh.
We watched this shit. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna speak on that. I had no. Remember, y'all hit me like you watching. I'm like, nah, I'm doing the podcast. So we did the podcast and we ended up watching the shit here because we have internet and we got Netflix here. We watch it, but I would never pay a dime for that shit. And the people, and I would say, y'all know me. I tell I'm like, this some bullshit. They finna tarnish this man's legacy. All of it in the hopes of building up this Pilgrim's reputation and shit. And that's what it is. And just speaking on that before we head out, I hate that situation because we always, our leaders, our people, whether the sports figures or whatever, they always end up sucking a Pilgrim dick psychologically on some bullshit. And that's what happened with that Tyson shit.
Hey, look, I'm going to go back to what we talked about earlier, right? Whether it's Tyson, whether it's entertainers, whether it's any of you guys in here, what we have to understand as a people, and this is where we get fucked up with social media and all that, we have to define what success is for ourselves.
Thank you.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
success is not your success.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All day.
Right?
All day.
And so Mike Tyson felt like, I don't know him. I can't say what he felt like. But looking at it, and I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
It was entertainment. I made
Right.
$20 million to go in there and dance around.
And
If you know boxing,
mm-hmm.
Mike Tyson held so many punches. That's why he was biting that glove, because he really wanted to tee off on him, right?
Thank you.
So, but we're going back to the success part.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the Diddy parties or whatever,
Oh,
it's whatever people decide to do to become successful.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't think it was wrong when, okay, I'm finna sleep with this person and I'm gonna get a platinum album, because that was their idea of success. Me, my idea of success is every kid that I've coached made it to college or made it to a professional level. That's my idea of success. My idea of success right now is they like it. But the biggest thing for me is showing my son that he can have everything a hustler son got, and I got a 9 to 5.
That part.
You know what I mean? So that's successful to me.
I got 9 to
So
5 and I touch
so
6.
it's we have to, if we want to be great, if we want to do this, we
All day.
Thank you.
All day.
Definitely. Because
All day.
the greatest sport, y'all can disagree with me if you want. I'm speaking monetarily, the greatest sport is baseball.
Don't even get into that contract.
No, yes.
Yeah, I
I'm
know
finna
you
touch
are.
on it for half
I
a
know-
second.
I know you
Because
are.
baseball is the greatest sport when it comes to sports.
What's up, brother?
This
Broski?
man, Brother Broski, was having my guy,
not getting all my comments.
brother, the baseball. This man
That's what I-
Soto just signed a 15-year contract for $765 million.
So
No deferred money. That's ill.
So look, let's do this.
No Bobby Bonilla.
This is what I want to. I had this conversation too. If you break down per game, they make it the same thing as the NFL. 16 games to 132 games.
162.
162. If you divide that up, you're making the same money. Look, you can do the math. You're making the same money. If you play in 162 games, you better get that kind of money.
Guaranteed contract,
Name me
so
a football player that got a contract over $100 million.
that's
Oh,
guaranteed.
Mahomes.
Actually, no, you got 2.
Mahomes.
You got 3.
Guaranteed.
No, I said you got 3.
I can
Guaranteed.
start. But you got guaranteed money all through it.
Every baseball contract is 100% guaranteed.
Okay. And you still got to play 160.
No, you don't.
Come on, man.
No, you don't. Football.
See, this is the problem with this is why I have a problem with today's basketball, today's football, today's baseball. Back in the day when we was coming up, niggas didn't take games off.
There's no.
If
there's
I
no
paid
way on
for
that
my,
shit like
if I
LeBron
paid
do.
for my ticket to come, I want to pay to see everybody play.
That shit like
These dudes
LeBron,
are faking
that,
injuries so they ain't got to play.
Like
other
like
motherfucker-
Joe Montana's back surgery.
Right.
So I just did the math. I wouldn't mind playing a game, every game getting paid $312,000 per game.
Thank you.
Per
Remember
game.
Baseball.
Joe Montana went and had back surgery.
Baseball.
Baseball.
Right.
If one
So-
game,
so listen to me.
$312,000.
Listen to me real quick.
So
But let me give you something. Listen. I'm gonna give you some context to this shit. Bobby Bonilla ain't played baseball in.
Shout out to Bobby Bonilla.
April 1st is Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Bobby Bonilla ain't played a game in over 20-some years. Guess what? By the time the New York Mets is paying Bobby Bonilla, and they finna pay Soto $765 million, and there's a clause to where he can go to $800 million. Bobby Bonilla can, when they done paying Bobby in 2032, I think it is. Old boy will still have some years left in his contract.
excuse me.
Baseball. Listen to me. I just want to say this, and please understand. Listen to me. There's not a sport. There's not a sport, a profession, or nothing to where I can be retired damn near 30 years and still get a check from that sport.
Now I understand that. Now look, what he just said, 300,000 a week, right?
No, per game.
Per game, right? Hold on, Mahomes he got paid $450 million. 141 million was guaranteed. You know what that add up to? In 16 games, that's $8 million a game.
But that's over for how many years was his contract, though?
Mahomes, that's that guy that carves
He-
up the Niners in the playoffs, right?
Oh yeah, the 4
yeah,
seconds, 6
yeah.
seconds left.
It's a 10-year contract.
Yeah.
10-year contract.
But I'm saying,
But it's only. But
Oh.
we're talking about fully guaranteed versus.
And his
partial.
guy,
But-
his
but-
shit ain't fully.
But I hear what you're
but
saying.
141 million is guaranteed.
Okay.
141 million is guaranteed. So I didn't even talk about his contract. Hold on, I didn't talk about his contract. I just talked about his guaranteed money. His guaranteed money, he get $8 million a game.
No, that's stretched out over 10 years.
No, your guaranteed money comes at one time.
Yeah, but I mean, but you.
Okay,
you
so
still-
even if you do it that way,
yeah,
let's do
You still tied to your contract. It's the sign.
450 million.
Baseball, football can't touch baseball, bro.
Baseball got the money.
Yeah.
And you got the money because you playing 162 games.
No, you got the money because that's where the fucking talent is, and that's what the sport.
But it's a lot more games.
It's a lot more games.
Way more games, bro.
Yeah, true. But you
You have to
listen.
pretty much you playing baseball.
Soto, what like I'm saying, football can give you guaranteed money and all the clauses. They can cut you and you out.
Again,
Listen,
I just
baseball,
showed 141.
100%. This is the thing. This is the fact. I get what you're saying. I'm not arguing against what you're saying. I'm just telling you the caveat to what you're saying. What puts baseball over the top. No football. There's rare that football contracts have guaranteed money percentage wise.
you got to be a man. to play football.
Baseball percentage is
gotta-
100% regardless.
So wait, but this is what I'm saying. This is where now I'm gonna call you a black man because you in the box, right? Because you're doing what everybody else is doing.
Nay.
You made baseball the greatest sport because of money, not because of the athlete, not because of his abilities, and not what he can do on the field.
The greatest athletes of all
No, no.
time
He said-
played
he-
baseball.
He said
Bo
the greatest
Jackson,
sport. He said the
Deion.
greatest sport ever is baseball, and let me tell you why. And he brought up the salary. He didn't bring up the athlete.
I did. I
Dave,
said I
what-
The
did.
abilities.
Yes, I did. I
What'd you
said
say?
you have milliseconds to react.
No, that was earlier. I'm talking about what you just brought up right
That
now.
was baseball.
No. Listen what I'm saying. What you said just now. We was talking, and you said, "Hold on, I'm finna tell you right now why
They
baseball
said, well,
is
we
the
smoking
greatest."
now. We drinking, bro.
He said, "Why is baseball the greatest sport ever?" You just said that, and you said the first thing you said was because you can make X amount of dollars. You didn't say because of the talent or nothing.
Okay. Based on what you're saying, let me give you my context on why baseball is the greatest sport.
When you said
Baseball, no, listen to me. Baseball, and this is stats. We all love stats. Baseball is the only sport. I don't give a fuck if it's ping pong, badminton, chess, checkers, or Uno. Baseball is the only sport where you can fail 7 times out of 10 and be considered great.
They put you in the Hall of Fame.
but hold on. But
Baseball is the only sport.
that's wait. That's like saying the kids in middle school can't flunk because there's no kid held back. So you okay with it having an F?
No.
I'll
As long as I graduated.
I'll give you a point.
As long as I
I'll give
graduated.
you a point that you can't dispute. You could take a reject team of baseball players who didn't make the Hall of Fame and make them Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, Dave Winslow, this and that.
Bo
Who?
Jackson didn't make it because his career got ended.
Winfield is
Yeah,
in the
Dave
Hall.
Winfield.
Dave Parker is in the Hall of Fame, and deservingly.
But I'm just saying though is that Dave Winfield was drafted
By
in three
all
different.
4 major sports at the
I'm just
same
saying though
time.
is that
I got
is
his
that
rookie card.
some of the greatest football players ever. Real dream was to play baseball.
Yes.
But that's because they can do it. Come on, man. Let's not do that.
Y'all did a hard look.
Like,
I'm a
hey,
sports
look, okay,
junkie.
let's do it this way. Football players, right? In football, it's the only sport where there's a position where your back is to the ball 100% of the game. Offensive lineman, back is to the ball and to play 100% of the game, and they still got to be successful.
Marcus Allen once told me he would rather been a shortstop.
No.
And
Hey, right, Nate.
His brother played for the Padres.
Exactly, Nate. Baseball. I'm just
You
speaking.
know Marcus Allen's brother played in
longevity?
the big leagues.
Baseball.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what I'm saying. Longevity.
No, I get what you're saying. You're not. I know you're not disagreeing with me.
Name another sport. Name another sport
I'm
where you
saying.
put your back to the ball.
Danny Ainge.
It's
Baseball?
long
Longevity. Because here's the thing.
Baseball.
Look. Basketball. It's only 15 people on the team, right? 12 or 10 of them suit up. So, and football, all it. Now you got G League now. You got different leagues now. But baseball,
You got A, double A, triple A.
Thank you.
You got all these
That's
different levels.
Right. So I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Baseball has always only thing that's increased in baseball is the salary. Baseball has always kept the same institutional function.
No, y'all got instant replay in baseball now.
I'm talking about that has nothing to do with none of this.
It changed the outcome of a game.
That's not the
It can
point.
change.
That's not the point of what I'm talking about. You're splitting hairs. Baseball fundamentally has been the same forever. Football, now you got World League, you got this. Basketball, oh, we need to have something for these other
But the
motherfuckers.
World League is the
Listen
minor
to me.
leagues for the NFL.
It's not on
The
the
same thing baseball does.
College football.
Other sports are now catching up to what baseball has institutionally done since its inception, and said, "Fuck with us, we
Only
got
thing
you."
baseball got is longevity.
That's what I'm
That's
talking
the only
about.
thing that baseball got is longevity.
I can come up as a rookie. Because matter of fact, I remember one year it was a dude for the Orioles,
It does look
Brady.
like
Listen
you used to get
to
to the
Brady
majors.
Anderson. I think he played center or whatever. This motherfucker was mediocre trash, but one year this motherfucker hit 50 home runs.
Shout out to Cecil Field.
Okay.
Hey, matter of fact,
Adrian Peterson had an ACL tear and came back and led
Dope.
the league in rushing.
that's dope. That's good.
I mean,
That's good.
We can always talk about comeback
No,
stories.
we got those.
in every
We got
sport.
those.
Didn't he
But
go get
all
some
I'm saying
stem
is
cells or
baseball
something?
has always been set up for
Did
longevity.
it?
When
No,
it comes to the money,
has to.
that's
I agree.
all
No, no,
I'm saying.
and I just said that. I said
Right.
baseball has longevity
Because it's
you got to play. It's not a physical sport, and you got to play.
It is physical.
It takes more skill
It is
to
physical.
play baseball.
Cal Ripken
It takes more
played.
skill to play
There's
baseball.
not. It takes because you out there longer. Football plays in the heat sometimes, but the boys of summer is always be
You
baseball.
can make it to the NFL just being an athlete. You ain't getting on the baseball field just being an athlete. Ooh, he can really run the base paths and
But
he
no,
can't hit the
listen.
ball.
I'm just telling you,
You
baseball.
gotta have skill to play
That's
baseball.
why. That's why National League used to have that designated hitters.
No,
that's what DH is
American
for.
League got, but that's it. National League don't have it.
I mean, American League that's what DHs are for. That's why I'm not going to talk sports with you. His stats don't matter.
Baseball-
Go ahead. I'm going to talk to you. Go ahead. Say what you
Baseball. I'm just telling you, baseball is the only sport where you only got milliseconds to respond and react, offense or defense. Football, it's all in cadence. You got you can get there and all that, but baseball, it's all but that. It's three people who dictate the pace of the game: pitcher, catcher, batter.
Okay, so since we're on sports, can I ask one sports question before you guys sign off?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask each of y'all just have one response.
Go for
I'll
it.
say Steve Kerr. You say
Steve Kerr. So basketball. Okay, so are you talking coach or player?
Coach.
Coach.
Right now, Steve Kerr.
A coach on his level.
No.
There's-
What comes to mind when he says that?
When I say Steve Kerr, you say what as a actual
Great coach, bad coach, whatever. What
right
do you
now?
think?
Right now,
As a
right.
great coach,
How would you rate him right now as a coach for the Warriors? Right now,
At this moment.
right now.
at this moment, I will say, he's making do with what he has, and he's doing good, more good than bad.
Okay.
I think he's slipping. He's definitely on the downward side, but due to what he's done in the past, he deserves the benefit of the doubt.
What's your thoughts on it?
I'm gonna say, I don't. It's kind of hard to say the thoughts only because I see Steve Kerr as somebody that's doing plug and play and still trying to find that chemistry. She's trying to find that right combination to put on the court.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I was just curious as we're talking about sports. Like for me, I just feel that he's almost like a Phil Jackson in a sense, where Phil had Tex Winners, right? And he really ran the teams. And if you look at a lot
The
of
X
the
and O's.
right, so if you look at a lot of the coaching staff that he has had, and they departed, you start seeing a downward trend. You know what I'm saying? So it's not so much the personnel, but I think it was the coaches, right?
Well, the coaching tree, so to speak.
Right, as they start leaving.
He's a
You
disciple of
just start
Popovich. Because I was going, that's why I was like, what context we talking? Because I would have said, well, Popovich, because that's where he came from.
Because I think he's more of, like, over the last couple of years, I've seen him more as we've seen on some of those coaches. They're more
Situational.
100%, right?
100% what?
It just situational, you know what I'm saying, the way he responds to his subbing and starting lineups and stuff like that, where it's not strategic. His coach is no longer strategic because he doesn't have that bench support.
Well, he seems to have checked out a little bit. He doesn't seem as locked in as he
different
was when they were winning, when they were a championship contender. He just doesn't seem to have the same. But he's had injuries. He's had the surgeries.
But at the time when they had when they was winning championships, he had a bench that could start on anybody else's team.
Yes.
Right. And
He had talent.
to back up your point on this and to answer your question, it's just like with any franchise. When you're on top, what do? They start plucking shit from you. They say, wait a minute. I mean, because we can look at any franchise.
No, I agree. I see where you're going with this.
Because any franchise that got a nucleus and go, because Belichick came from Parcells, who Bill Walsh came from Al Davis.
Shit,
Y'all don't give. Hold on. Bill Walsh came from Al Davis. Y'all don't give us that. But everything.
Don't say y'all. Don't say
No,
y'all.
I'm just saying in general. I'm not saying. I'm not saying you personally. I'm not saying you personally.
Brought the Niners to San Francisco.
So
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Like
But listen,
Popovich, same thing.
Yeah.
It's true.
What the other organizations do is once you have a steady nucleus, they be like, hey, why don't you come run our shit?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing.
And that's
though,
what
right?
happens.
When you-
And unless you able to replicate that loss, that make addition by subtraction, you get in that perpetual where you jogging in place. And to your point, that's kind of what is happening with Steve. And it's not that he's exposed.
And he's had health issues too.
It's not. We'll as a cheap layman's terms, we can call it, oh, he's exposed and not a good coach. It's who's around him. Yes, who's around you builds who you are, and you have to replace these pieces because I'll go to football real quick. The coach
Bobby
for
Moore.
Texans, DeMarco, he was with y'all, right?
He was.
Beaston, defensive
And
coordinator.
he's beasting in Houston too.
Hey, that's a piece that y'all haven't been able to replace.
Facts.
No, that's true. That's true.
Facts.
And that's what happens
But see,
naturally.
And that's the same thing's happening with the Warriors because
Yes.
if you notice the season, how many close games they lost in the second half, right? And then that's where they're missing, their coach that's in Sacramento.
That's what I was saying.
Right,
They came to
yeah.
Sacramento for shit,
Right.
And they playing against their old coach.
Exactly.
Because that was their defensive coach.
And that's by design.
Barkley said something real interesting. He said in the NBA, he said this back in the past, he said in the NBA, if you lose by under 5, it's coaching. If you lose by more than 5, it's effort from the players.
I feel that.
So if they're losing a bunch of close games, that's coaching.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot more for me it's more defensively, right? Because how they've always gone to the second half with these big leads, 20 up teens, and end up losing. And I think that's more on the defensive end of things, right?
Right.
It
And I
has
think
to be
that's
the coach failing to make adjustments.
right. And I think that's where Steve Kerr
Is missing.
right. And that's how he's been exposed. Because you can't close out games, you can't keep leads, right?
You don't have that bitch to make that sub.
No. I disagree I disagree because if you
Okay.
remember the narrative, using the word I was talking about earlier tonight, where in the first 10 games, 12 games of the season, they had the best bench in the NBA. They was averaging 60 points a game, right? So in that, the substitutions that's being made by the head coach,
True.
can't sustain those leads you have in the second half is Jerry Stackhouse. That's your defensive coach, right? Is he the same guy? I don't think so.
Right. I agree
I
with you.
think part of it
And-
is also being loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I understand
you
that.
let Clay go. So how is you being loyal about the
He let go?
Yes,
They had to.
100%.
Just purely
Because
financial.
they could have gave him the money. They offered him this. They offered him the same money that Dallas offered him. The only difference is the taxes are different.
Yeah.
So and
Dallas is different.
I
And-
think
and-
what
and
what
Clay-
the
Shout out
years.
to Klay
It was
Thompson.
years.
Nah,
That
it
the
was
Warriors offered him.
the
He went in
same.
no rings.
It was the same money.
Anywhere else.
It was the same money, but like Clay said, he felt some kind of way, and I get it, right? But you're not the same player. But
Right.
going back
Nowhere
to
near.
right, but going back to Steve Kerr, I just think that he's on a downward.
I just think that with Klay Thompson, you just came
His
off an
focus,
injury.
his
You wasn't the
intensity.
same person, and you played 2 years. You was 2 years injured and didn't touch the floor. And we still paid you all
80
your
million.
money. Where's your loyalty? That's just
I
me.
can
No, that's the KD effect. You all in your feelings.
What?
Yeah.
And who was that?
So
That's business.
They were talking to Sean Kemp. They were talking to
Man,
Sean
we could have
Kemp
ran about
and
6
somebody else.
championships with KD.
They were
If
talking
you
about
wasn't
Sean
in his
Kemp.
feelings.
If you wasn't in his feelings.
And Sean Kemp was talking about what they was talking about, doing the GOAT thing. And he said, where I put Kobe and Jordan over LeBron is that they did it with one team.
Facts.
They did.
Totally agree.
They wasn't chasing a championship.
Totally.
The championship came to them.
Totally agree.
Right?
Right.
And so this is what the era is. LeBron is a product of the system. He's using the system. That flopping, the jumping around, all he's using the system to his best. Like James Harden and that traveling and that all that. They're using it to their benefit. But us who like the old school basketball, old school football, we like that's sucker shit.
Did you like Dennis Rodman drawing fouls, flopping? Did you like Reggie Miller acting like
That
he got
was
shot
Bebop?
with a shotgun on every release?
Well, I would say.
No, Reggie Miller just had an ugly shot, period. He just had an
If
ugly
you
shot.
touched Reggie Miller,
No.
I was some of them games. I literally thought somebody hit him with a sniper rifle.
It was some games Jordan was yelling for fouls.
Yeah.
Hold on, they was whooping George.
Come on, man.
They was whooping
Jordan
George.
got
Jordan.
Yeah,
was getting
but
whooped. Jordan
I didn't heard
was
people
getting
say.
Dennis
I
Rodman
heard
flopping.
people say, quit asking for a foul, keep playing. But then it's okay for Jordan to do it.
No, I disagree. I disagree. I think that you should just keep balling. You know what I mean?
Right.
And let the refs call what they call. So I never been like that. I never coached that. It's always 5 against 7.
Rodman
All
come
day.
out there,
True.
hack, and then collapse and draw the foul. Like, come on, man. They always
Hold
doing
on.
that.
What I'm gonna tell you is you can't compare basketball back then to basketball now.
True. No, you can't.
You can't.
And
You can't.
And as a
Because there's
society,
guys
we
who
get
made
caught up in
all-star teams in those eras who wouldn't make a roster.
It's totally different.
What?
Totally different. No, I
Mark
agree.
Price, B.J. Armstrong, John Paxson, guys like that made all-star teams back then. They wouldn't even make a roster today.
I just had this conversation with my son. We were talking Sunday. We were talking about what we miss in the game is the point guard. The NBA right now does not have
a point
true
guard.
Point guard.
And
Like,
everybody you named was a point guard.
right.
shucking threes from everywhere.
Right,
'Cause
It's
it's
no
a
true
fast
centers.
pace. It's just like you said, baseball. Technically, if you when it comes to watching baseball, I love baseball. But to the average person, baseball is a boring sport to watch from beginning to end.
I can't do it. Yeah. I can't.
So
do
now they've hey, we got to get people engaged. We got to do this. But baseball is a pure science. It's
Y'all
you
can
got
have that.
you got
Y'all
point.
can have that.
It's like fishing. You
I
gotta have
mean,
patience. You gotta have
I'll
patience.
pull
I
up,
love
I'll pull up-
fishing.
I'll pull up in the 7th inning.
So,
I'll pull up in the 7th inning
But that's
and catch it live. I can't.
Yeah.
do it,
but see,
bro.
that's
That's
our
the
conversation.
ambience.
That's our conversation. I don't believe in I don't think there's no such thing as the GOAT. I don't. I believe it's the greatest of their time. I don't believe it's the greatest of all time because the rules have
Yes,
changed
I agree.
so
Yes.
many years.
exactly. It's
that-
hard
that-
to
that-
compare.
And I don't think nobody's playing basketball right now can fuck with the Detroit of '85, the Detroit of the '90s.
Hey, bro,
the Chicago.
that wasn't even basketball.
That was-
That wasn't even basketball.
that was
Let
old
me tell you
school.
something.
Smear
Hold
the
on,
queer,
but hold on, hold
kill
on.
the pill.
I had a
just
person
had
tell
this,
me-
I just had this conversation with my son. These players, it's kids that's being reclassed. We just played against a team that had a 15-year-old 7th grader. You hear what I just said? A 15-year-old 7th
that's a
grader
lot of
because they don't want to compete, right?
That's a lot of that. That's a lot of
You got,
that.
and I'm saying what you got to understand is when I came up, it was like if I wanted your playing time, I had to play you for it. If I wanted your number, I had to play you for it.
Yes.
That's gone.
Yeah.
That's gone now. That was AAU.
True that.
Whoever paid their money on time get the number.
People get to
That's
talking
bullshit.
about those ball. I'm gonna say 2 things. One, Michael Cooper. People like him won Defensive Player of the Year. Michael Cooper would get dogged in the modern NBA.
I agree.
And
I agree.
there's not a man, as raw as some of them dudes was in the 80s,
Era.
there's not a single man that played basketball from 80 to 93 who could stop KD from getting 50 if he wanted to.
Vernon Maxwell.
Well, there's
He
nobody.
would not. KD would eat Vernon Maxwell alive.
Nobody. No. If that's the case, nobody would outshoot Rick Barry, who led the league in scoring and didn't have a 3-point line.
Let me give you an example.
Nobody would stop Kareem
Let me give you an
Abdul-Jabbar. He
example.
wasn't allowed to dunk.
Let me give you a controversial take. Jordan would be an all-star in this era. because that's how raw he was, right?
Anthony Marcus
But
said
Jordan
Jordan
would
would be
not-
Jimmy Butler.
But
if he
Jordan
played.
would not be. Hold on, let me
Oh
finish.
man,
Jordan
Jordan
would-
log off.
I'll tell you why.
Log off, go smoke a joint.
Jordan would not
You know,
be
I'm
I'm
Jordan.
fucking
Jordan.
with you tonight,
Like he
Anthony.
knows something
man.
that's gonna require critical thinking.
All right. We go.
Jordan was matched up in them finals against
off.
guards like Hersey Hawkins,
Mhm.
who was 6'3" and
We done.
slow.
Not yet.
Hersey Hawkins,
We still
Hornacek,
I'll let
people
y'all
like
know
that,
when
right?
I'm gonna end it in
If
a minute.
he had to guard, say, a Klay Thompson,
He'll go on a
and I'm not
45
putting
minute
Klay
rant.
Thompson in Jordan level, but the thing is imagine if you had a defensive philosophy where you only gonna pay a little bit of homage to the 3-point line, you're gonna drop down and you're gonna strip, you're gonna disrupt the passing lanes, you basically gonna leave the 3-point line unguarded.
So let's do this.
Imagine
So
somebody
Michael
coming
Jordan
with
playing
the,
right now
let me
with the
finish,
zone.
let me
With
finish.
the zone.
Let me finish.
Come on, bro.
Let me
Like these two. Imagine Jordan played taking 20 games off a season to keep his legs fresh.
Eating.
Come on, man.
Like this.
Let's be real.
Imagine
though.
if Jordan and Pippen had
on,
to
man.
guard the 3-point line. Now they can't disrupt the passing
They had to
lanes.
guard
and
that.
They
You just
did.
couldn't shoot the three because they had to play man.
Yeah.
They had to play man. It wasn't no zone like they got
Okay,
now.
well,
no,
Come
they were
Come
playing
on,
man.
bro.
They were playing man.
Imagine
They
if
playing
it,
man.
like people used to
Come on,
say,
bro.
what was that one Warriors team with KD
Come
on
on,
it? The
let's stop
17
it.
Warriors or whatever, right?
KD is a
Imagine-
different dude.
imagine-
You got a 7-foot point guard. That's
Any
different.
team from the 90s and the 80s would be down by 30 by halftime against them Warriors.
Not if
But
they had
so-
to play man the whole game, bro. If you put
so
these cats
it's a
with the rules of
different
back then, bro.
mentality.
So here's my thing with today's current basketball. Way more athletic. They can shoot
Yeah.
better. No, I get it, right? But what you don't see in today's game, you don't see the true point guard. You don't see any J kids.
Right.
You don't see no Starberries. You don't see none of those dudes anymore.
Steve Nash.
And you don't see the Steve Nash. You don't
Right.
see those dudes that are cut up the defensive schemes that
Tim
they have
Hardaway.
right now, right? Also, what you don't see the mid range game, right?
Not
There
since
is
Sean Livingston.
man, there is
Right.
no
Yeah,
mid.
Sean Livingston was a pure
How good would
throwback.
LeBron be? How good would
No,
LeBron
no,
be if he
no.
only could take 2 steps?
Hold on.
That's why I was finna go into the Euro step with not
you don't have any mid range game. You don't have any true point guards anymore, right? And you can't play defense.
Right.
Today's NBA is 100% offensive driven,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's a totally different game when you can hand check a dude 94 feet and make him earn his bucket, right? Where you
Full
can,
court
when
press.
you run into that solid Karl Malone screen like they was running up in Utah, that's basketball. But today that will be what
And they
offensive
putting up-
foul.
They putting up
Right.
100 without shooting threes.
So
That's a
you
big
can't-
difference.
you can't compare.
So
It's
for me,
different eras.
somebody like myself, like we were just talking about it. We were talking about Sunday up at the gym. I was born way too soon. Way too soon. Way too soon.
We are a part of
Right?
an era to where we got to witness
Come on, man.
the science of the old school and seeing we're in a unique position when it comes to being analytical about sports.
Do you know how Jason Kidd will be serving right now in today's
Hey,
NBA?
let's put it like this.
You
Perfect
you
example.
take Prime J Kidd and drop him in today's NBA.
Perfect example.
Come
Bo
on.
Jackson. A hip injury made him retire. Adrian Peterson completely tore his MCL, ACL, and came back the next year and led the league. If Bo Jackson had the medical that these kids have right now, it wouldn't be the people that's running the ball now. It wouldn't.
And
Now,
that's
Bo
one of my
would've hit
favorite
500
players of all time.
I'm just saying.
Bo
come
would've
on,
hit
man.
500.
I got all kind of
yo,
throwbacks.
What was the game? What
It was against the Bengals.
What was the game?
Madden.
Tecmo Ball.
Tecmo Ball.
Bo Jackson all day
I mean,
long.
come on, man.
Come on,
Bo
man.
Jackson is the only
Remember,
person
I got-
that played a baseball game.
I
Al
got
Davis
throwback
flew
Bo
in the
Jackson,
helicopter
Kansas
to play a
City
Raider game the same
jersey,
day.
and
did it too,
Raiders,
though.
and I
Come
got
on,
all
In
the
the
Indiana
playoffs.
playoffs.
In the playoffs. But he made his own way. Al Davis
Did
flew
it.
him. Gave
Hey,
him a
Mark
helicopter.
Anthony say ain't no nigga hand checking Bron in the 90s.
Bullshit.
Oh,
Bullshit.
Facts.
man. Oh, man.
Lambeer
Facts.
would eat LeBron up.
Man, LeBron would. There's
No,
nothing that Lambeer can
Rodney,
physically do
No,
to
let's be
LeBron.
clear.
Prime-
Let's be
prime
clear.
LeBron.
Let's be clear. Bron is cool, but Bron don't have handles.
Right.
He's
do
cool,
not.
He's
but he
straight
don't have.
downhill.
He all day he
That's
down.
all he do.
He's
Yeah.
a Karl Malone train.
If you
He's
played,
built like Karl Malone
Yeah.
playing the guard
you're right.
position.
If you played old school rules, LeBron gonna
LeBron
foul
be a
out
small
in the
forward.
third quarter or second quarter because he gonna charge 50% of the time.
And let's be real.
65%.
Hey, look. Again, this is why I call you Charles Barkley, because I don't think you really believe half the shit you say.
Oh no, I believe very much so.
But you brought up KD. You got to understand something. KD was a 6'8" point guard in high school. So what he's doing at 7 foot, all he did was got taller and still kept doing it. But you're not going to find another 7 footer doing what KD do. No other 7 footer that can take you off the dribble.
Now Dirk had that knockdown.
No, but
Dirk had that knockdown.
He had the knockdown, but he wasn't taking you off the dribble, and he wasn't. He can take you on the post. KD game is so.
No, but he nice though.
All around.
Since Texas, he was.
I mean,
nice.
let's be real. Let's and there's no and half these kids wouldn't be doing what they're doing if Shaq was playing right now, because he would lean on you and tear your legs up. You wasn't fit to be running around that court.
You tired of them motherfuckers.
The whole that.
Hey, wait a minute. I got one for y'all, real quick. You think Bron gonna fuck with Anthony Mason or Derek Coleman?
There's nothing they can do.
Bullshit.
There's nothing. The reason why I say
Charles Oakley.
Hold on. From a pure basketball, point of view,
them three names right there.
What position do LeBron
Charles
play?
Barkley and Mason.
Charles Barkley too small.
But no, I meant to say Oakley.
I said
The
Oakley.
only thing they could do is hack him. That's all they could do.
No.
Because if they had to come out on the
Full court
perimeter,
press. LeBron can't bring the ball up to the full court
They
press.
couldn't guard him.
Yeah.
They couldn't guard him straight
only
up.
thing they could do is if the referees
Too
really
slow.
let them play, all they could do is
Look,
hack.
Okay, who would? What position would LeBron? What position do we play now?
Same he playing now.
What? He's a 3.
He's a tweener. Bron's a tweener.
Mm-hmm.
Bron's a tweener.
But
Straight up,
said,
he's a tweener.
as a 3. You said LeBron would stop Sean Kemp in his prime?
Nah, that'd be that. Well, see,
What?
it depends. No, wait.
No.
Wait,
No.
hold on.
No.
He was a 4, but it depends on what Bron you gonna put on him. Now, if you take that Cleveland Bron, first run Cleveland, he win him all day. You take and the Miami Bron, he win him all day.
So,
but after that,
prime LeBron and Vince Carter.
totally
Vince
different
Carter
players.
wasn't that good.
What?
Vince Carter was an
Let's end the
impressive
show.
player.
Let's end the show.
yeah, we're gonna.
Every Warrior fan was
So-
mad that they traded Vince Carter for James.
Jameson.
That was a bad
Come
decision.
on, man.
Did you say that he
Hold
wasn't
on.
that good?
Vince Carter could have been a lot better.
All right.
Vince Carter wasn't dedicated to the game.
We gon-
When he they had game 7,
Now
and
it's
this nigga went to his graduation. When they had game 7 against Philadelphia,
Now you on morals and not game skills.
he went, but he missed the possible game winner because he didn't have no legs.
So here's a question I have for you then, right? Let's keep it on the level. If a player who is not that good, how's he gonna have a 20-year career?
I mean, when I say he's not that good, you know what I mean. He's
I don't.
He's not in the A-list tier.
Who?
The Dominique Wilkins is
Who?
the LeBron.
Who?
Vince ain't on that level.
But you just named
He
a whole
just
different
below.
generation,
Come
though.
on,
You
man.
told it.
Come on.
But if we
You
get to
can't
talk
shit
about
on
the
Vince.
greatest threes of all time,
You can't
Vince
shit on
Carter
Vince.
ain't in that
Vince is the
argument.
greatest dunkers, greatest basketball.
Yeah, but
20 years 20.
Now Vince,
Kobe,
He ain't
even
on that tier.
LeBron. Listen.
Listen.
Vince, hold on. I'm gonna say this about Vince.
So you said
Vince
LeBron
did 20
LeBron
without
better
low
than LeBron,
management.
Vince Richmond?
Yes.
Vince did
You
20
talking about
without low management.
6-time first team all defense. Yes, he could guard Mitch Richmond.
Yeah, because you can play zone now. This is what I'm saying. The rules allow you to play that type of basketball. Come on, let's be real, bro.
Mitch Richmond wouldn't last in today's league though.
He wouldn't. But I'm saying, everybody keeps saying today's, but you got it. That's why I say it's greatest
can't
of their
compare
time.
eras.
You
No, you
can't
can't.
compare them to this league and not
They're-
compare
we
them to
can't.
that league.
We want to,
Now,
but
one
we
player,
can't.
like there's certain players you can take and drop them in today. Like I'll take Garnett and drop him in today's league.
Okay, yes.
Like KG could play. In the
6'11", can run, aggressive,
Right.
box out, hit
Tracy,
the boards
Tracy,
like
Tracy McGrady.
Oh,
drop him in
offensive
today's
weapon.
league. You know what I mean?
I dropped Rob
LeBron
in
would have to
today's
guard
league.
him.
But you can't take no Michael Cooper. You can't take no Mark Price. You can't take them
Mark
type of
Price
dudes.
again.
So let
that
me just
was
say,
all-stars.
LeBron defense, honestly, in my opinion, and y'all get mad at me about this.
No, I'm not mad.
He don't have the greatest
No, no.
defense. He don't have
LeBron's
No, he don't.
defense and those
It's always been
defensive awards that he got,
Is
give it to him.
Yes.
Let me tell you why. Michael Jordan.
That was like when
Michael
they
Jordan
gave
and Kobe
rapper-
has always guarded the greatest player on the other team.
Yes.
LeBron has been shut down. LeBron got his ass whooped by
By
Steph
fucking-
Curry.
No,
By
wait a
Steph
minute.
Curry.
LeBron got dogged out by
Curry-
a dude
Curry
on Dallas.
scored 2 against
What was
LeBron.
his
You
name?
take Pete
The short.
Cowley and put him in the league
Wait a
in
minute.
'89.
No.
Wait a
See,
minute.
there you go
Kawhi
deflecting. There you go deflecting.
He is.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, bro.
Kawhi Leonard would lead the league in scoring
LeBron
and
has
defensive
never
player of the year.
LeBron has
You said
never
our
guarded
viewers.
the team's best player.
Ask your viewers. Who do they
They
think?
talking. They said Barkley, who y'all love, will be PJ Tucker. That's different. But no, LeBron in the finals when they played Dallas got shut down by Berea.
Ooh.
Now and
Kawhi Leonard
Berea.
would be
Hey,
the
wait a
GOAT
minute.
argument if you
And,
put him in
and I'm not
89.
disrespecting Berea personally, but Berea
You is.
I am, but not. No. I'm just keeping it in the context. I'm keeping it a buck. Berea
He was a dog.
shut
though.
down
He was a
LeBron in the finals.
He was a dog. He was a pesky dog.
Berea
You know-
is not in the top
he's like
200.
He was almost like a watered down version of Patrick Beverly, defensively.
Yeah.
He was
Okay.
just
So
I-
how that?
just name one person.
Tell me
name
somebody.
what
Tell me
great
somebody
player
who
LeBron actually
could be a
guarded.
high school pickup coach could shut down Jordan. You can't.
no, he guarded Kobe.
Yeah, and he.
No,
Anyway.
Hey,
that was
remember
that
when
was
he-
at the end
remember
of
when he
Kobe's
sent-
career.
remember when he was in Cleveland and he sent Boston to the house?
yeah, he did.
That was one of the greatest. That was one of the greatest
Yeah.
series ever.
But that was young Bron though. That was young Bron.
Yeah.
All right.
But,
All I'm saying
in the
is-
beginning, LeBron was missing no fourth quarter. He was missing in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but you got to remember.
21-year-old LeBron dropped 30 a game and took his team to the finals.
That's
Come
fresh
on,
out-
man.
fresh
You
out
can't.
of-
You
yeah.
can't. You can't.
That shit
With the
been a
rules
fact.
of right now.
He
That
was
shit
playing.
No. He was
21-year-old LeBron was playing against the leftovers from the 90s.
That nigga went
How old
straight
was
from
LeBron
high
when he-
school.
how
He
old was
didn't
LeBron
have
when
the
he
wear
came
and
to the league?
tear. That shit was all designed. Come on, let's call
He
it
was 20
shit.
years old when
He
he
had
came to the
easy
league.
bake oven career. Let's call it what it is. And I'm a James.
Listen.
I'm calling it
He
what
was
it is.
20 years old when he came to the league, right?
Average 30
he
and
was
21.
19.
Listen.
He was 19, 18 when he came to the league.
He was 20. Look at his age and do the numbers. The reason why I know because he was playing for the Oakland Soldiers at 19 against the 16U AAU team. LeBron. They was flying LeBron. Oakland Soldiers was flying LeBron into Oakland to play AAU games.
Yes.
All right.
With Leon Poe.
Yeah. He was 19 playing AAU games.
And brought up the block when he blocked Iguodala on it. That was fucking scripted for the league, man. That was what it was.
That's not
Anyway,
a head up guard. That was he trailed him and he got the block.
Chase
Yeah.
down block.
Come on, that was Chase down
LeBron
block.
in
He
his
was supposed to
prime
get
was LeBron in his prime was a beast.
He still
I
wasn't
think
guarding
about
nobody.
5
but he
years
wasn't.
past his prime.
Kobe
and still
and
beast.
Jordan took it personal. They wanted to guard the other team's best players.
Exactly. So anyway,
he came in the league at 19 and he got
Thank
rookie of the year at 20.
thank you. So here we go. This has been a great conversation. I love it with my brothers.
And it's
We're
rookie
going to
year,
hang out tonight. We're doing something tonight.
Turn 20.
But tell everybody where they can find y'all at. 'Cause we pushing 2.5 hours.
Hey, y'all can find me at Feral Films, man.
We can
gotta
find him
use
at
the
Farrell
facility.
/ Charles Barkley at.
Spit number facts.
Yeah. Tell them where they can find you at, Vic.
Spit number facts.
King
K&Q.
and Queen Cigars.
Yeah.
K&Q
At
Cigars.
K&Q on Instagram.
K&Q Cigars. My brother got cigars. You know, y'all have a cigar event. Look him up. Maurice, where can they find you? This the man. This brother.
So you can just find the website, theherogroup.com, all things real estate, first-time home buyers, investors, builders, remod, anything that you need, theherogroup.com.
And you got the 100 Black Men event tomorrow. You can speak on that touch on that real quick before we roll out.
Yep. So tomorrow evening we have our scholarship gala held at the San Francisco Marriott Marquis. So that's our signature event. We are raising funds again to give out to all the youth to help them with their college tuition. Really good event. And then we have a toy giveaway that's going to be coming up as well at Cypress Mandela pretty soon. Check for that. A lot of that will be running on IG, 100blackmenba.org if you want to get more information. And check us out. And then any of you want to get back to the community, be mentors, check out the OK program. They need a lot of good men that's really step up and do the real work.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Me, I'm Deshaun. You can find me on IG at Cognac _Confessionals, Facebook and YouTube, Cognac Confessionals. If you know me, who I am, you can also find me personally on Facebook, but I prefer you follow me on the other shit unless you personally know me. But you can always find me in your bitch dreams. Why? Because that's where I reside. But more importantly, you can find me on the right side of the universe. Why? Because that's where I call home. Yeah, you niggas will get that at 3 in the morning. But hey, it's
And LeBron and
Sagittarius
Lakers
season.
just got their ass whooped.
Huh? LeBron and Lakers just lost?
Yeah.
See, fuck the Lakers. Fuck LeBron. I'm a James. I said it. But, hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Share the video. Share the live. Everybody was tuning in. I'm not going to shout y'all out individually, but I appreciate y'all always. Share, like, subscribe. Next week, we got a great show lined up for y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's still Sagittarius season. We having fun. Once again, thank the Most High for letting me reach 50. I appreciate it. This is the first show reaching at 50. I'm having fun. I'm living life. I'm having fun. I'm doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, thank you. Now it's time to say, Pharaoh Films. You can find Pharaoh at Pharaoh Films. You can find Camouflage at Camouflage on IG. Shout out to the Venus Lounge. Shout out to Cat Bobino. In the Know with Cat Bobino. All of us, you know, we appreciate y'all. VJ TV Network. Everybody, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? We just melanated people networking and making shit happen. Why? Because that's what we do. And now it's time to say goodbye to all my Negro friends. Hey, catch y'all next week when I'm going to have my whole East Palo Alto family.